Let's go. Hit the like button, subscribe, and draw a winky in the comment section. What's going on, you sex machines out there? All right, so let me just get the thing up, get the green screen on. Hope you guys all got the alert. I know that the alerts haven't been the best recently. With the fact I was live earlier today, that's never a helpful thing. So we'll see what we can do. And Jakey Two Belts is here, except he's only got one.
That's right, baby. I don't know where Garguts is, where he is right now, but we got some people looking for him.
Should we kill Garguts?
Might have to happen, but in the meantime, I have this beautiful belt provided by Seth Negan. That's right, the Out of Nowhere champion and Monetize This champ is here. What's going on?
That belt, I mean, man, the Monetize This belt used to shine like that, and
I can make it shine. I'll add some homemade polish. It'll look beautiful.
It's just beautiful to see a belt like that shine like it does.
Absolutely.
Like shine. The Monetize This champion and Out of Nowhere champion, Jake DeMarco here. And,
we got a big night.
Big
All
night.
out
Big weekend. Sunday, too, right? Because a lot of people still keep saying Saturday, and it is Sunday.
Yes, it is on Sunday.
And thanks to everybody who reached out to me to try to tell me what my bruise was. I appreciate that. We've all been trying to solve the mystery of my inner ankle bruise. I have an inner ankle bruise, and I don't know where the bruise came from, guys. I didn't hurt my ankle. I didn't hit it that I know of. So it must have been while I was sleeping. Someone stepped on me. I think Leah kicks me at night to mess with me. So
I have bruises everywhere.
I mean, that's all I could think, Jake, was like imagine like a diabetic person or like anybody like your stuff. Like I'm just like, but I'm like I didn't fucking hit my ankle anywhere. Why do I have an inner ankle bruise? It's
my whole arm from there down is.
Oh,
see,
Jesus!
See how that looks. I mean, literally, it's
Yeah, but you know how you got that though?
Yeah, because the vein blew and infiltrated in my arm. Yeah. So it all secreted downwards.
See, I don't care. It's like I don't care that I have a bruise. I just
want to know how you got it.
Yeah, like stuff like that drives me nuts. But anyway, I'll find some more bruises in the shower tonight when I go to take a shower. In a little bit, I'm going to be going to take a shower when this show's over, and it's going to feel so good to be in the shower. It's going to just feel sexy to be in the shower and scrubbing and dubbing all over myself. That's a really weird thing to say. I'm sorry.
What's the sewer backed up, and when Danny was in the shower before, the pipe broke and just bursted all over our kitchen. So we have a huge crack in our kitchen ceiling now, and just this water fountain of water just
because of the flooding stuff.
Downwards. I guess everything backed up through the sewer, so when she was showering, it didn't have anywhere to go, and it just overflowed in the pipe and burst.
It's water, though. It's not sewer.
Yeah, it's all just water, thankfully. But
well, because I thought it was sewage. I was going to say, Jesus
no,
Christ.
It just didn't have anywhere to drain because that was blocked, so it kept backing up, I guess.
Jesus. Time to get out of there. Yeah, if it was sewer, dude, I mean, I'd be out.
Yeah,
I'm
then
out.
I'd be like, all right, well, burn it down, start over.
Yeah, that sucks, man. I mean, it could have been. I mean, it could have been a lot worse for everybody. For us, I mean, it was worse for you. My area was even like there's really not. Like I said, I told the story earlier in the car about the Charles River and the way the water runs out here. But yeah, it could have been worse though for everybody. I guess it was for New York. I mean, for New York, it was shitty. So, but we'll move on and we'll get into it, man. We'll talk a little bit about the Daffney thing in a few minutes. Obviously, we were finding this information out the other night. We didn't really know 100% what was going on. Now we pretty much have a good idea of everything that happened. Just stinks, you know. It's one of those things. A lot of people virtue signaling today like they gave a damn. I don't, you know, I don't get it. Like the bottom line is something already happened to lead someone to this point. And it just sucks for her. It's too bad. It really sucks.
I didn't expect it to have this kind of outcome last night when we were discussing.
Me neither. I thought like, oh, this is they're gonna find her, like, and everything will be. But I really am mad that she didn't get to see this outpouring. Like it sucks that she didn't get to see this outpouring of support,
this love and support. Yeah,
I don't even think
maybe
she
that
saw.
would have changed her mind.
Well, that, and I don't think she even saw the, like, when she was live streaming.
Her cry for help was received. Yeah, I think she might have already been gone at that point, from what it sounds like.
Yeah, that's just too
the
bad.
issue was they couldn't find her current address, so EMS went to her old address, and then from there they went to another address. She wasn't there. They finally got a hold of the family who had the current address, and then they got there, but they couldn't enter because of I don't know. I don't understand all the full details, but
some kind of privacy law or something like that.
Yeah, something about that where they couldn't enter, and by the time they did, I guess it was too late. So
that just
it's a terrible situation. Not how I was expecting any of this to go down. I was really hoping that. I mean, she was obviously in a hard place. You could hear just by what she was saying. Never mind holding the gun, but
yeah,
brandishing the firearm, definitely a cry for help. But I was hoping it would just be that cry for help.
A lot of people wrote that cry for help thing, and it ended up being like not a cry for help. It was like a legit act that was happening.
Yeah, unfortunately, and that's why the world, you know, it's true. You know, there's a stigma, like Trey said, around mental health, and the world doesn't seem to care, and it is a truth. They'll say they do, but when they'll ostracize people that have issues before they actually help them.
People care more about fighting with each other online today about who loved her more or cares more than anybody cared about actually being there for somebody. So I just think everybody's full of crap. I mean, that's why. I just don't get it. I see everybody online fighting, like this one's mad at that one for this, that, and Carl Anderson's mad at WWE, and people are mad at him because he's mad at WWE. It's just like, dude, who cares? The bottom line is nobody was there enough for her to help her. That's what happened. So, and some people you can't help either, by the way. But the people that are virtue signaling are just hilariously ridiculous. But either way, all that matters is it sucks that it happened. It's too bad. I just wish she saw that outpouring of people looking for her that night. Like the people that were looking for her that last night, all you guys, people that were messaging me, Mick Foley was right away. Like a lot of those people, all the people last night who right away was like trying to get a hold of her and stuff. That was cool. I wish she saw that. I wish, they WWE tweet out her picture and all this stuff about her today. I wish she saw that kind of recognition. Some of that stuff may have made a difference, but maybe not. But anyway, that's about all I can say because I like I said, I watched her, I remember back in the day her being around, but I didn't get to watch her a ton and nothing like that. So I don't know. She seemed cool. I always thought she looked cool and liked her stuff she did in the ring. Usually was fun, but not I'm not going to pretend like I know anything. I don't. But so that's it, man. That's all I can really say about it. Just super sad. Wish it didn't happen 100%, and that's it. We can look at the other wrestling news, I guess, today. Yeah. Rest in peace, Daffney. Just sad. I wish that I wish I took it more serious last night. I didn't even know 100% what was really happening, and I wish more people got a hold of her.
I addressed it, and we covered it, but I didn't think it was going to. There was EMS dispatched. I was like, oh, good. There'll be someone there to intervene. They'll talk to her. I didn't fathom or foresee her already being gone by that point.
Yep. Yep, it was like the China thing, and we didn't realize it. I guess I never.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't. It's weird, man. It's just rough. So where do you want to go now?
I want to start right away with the ratings because I was a bit surprised.
Okay.
It was down 10%
Not good.
from last week's Dynamite.
Yeah, not good news.
Still above 1 million. They got a 1.047, but this was down from last week's first Punk appearance, and I feel like this was a better show than last week. Honestly.
Yeah, I agree. The other night's show was a better show than last week. That's true.
But they were down about 130,000 viewers, so that's rough. And the demo is down to a 0.37. Last week it was a 0.48. So that first Punk moment really made a difference there, I guess. It added an extra 130,000 viewers, and all of those were in that demo, basically.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what changed, like where this stuff went wrong.
I think people are less interested in some of the other things, and they saw him basically like they saw Punk, and they're like, all right, now I just want to get to the match. And that's how most of the people I've spoken to feel. All right, I heard the first two promos, the one on Rampage and Dynamite. I don't need to see anything else. Just get to the match. Everything else is just filler. So I understand the sentiment there. So people kind of tuned out for that. That came back for Punk.
Right.
They didn't have enough of a reason to stay. They didn't give them anything else that was like super interesting. Some of the stories were good, no doubt, but nothing really stood out or felt special.
Yeah, I'm more. This is concerning to me. I got to be honest. This is very concerning. I did not.
And I've been enjoying AEW more than WWE for a long time now.
Yeah, that's the thing is I'm going to enjoy this still more. It doesn't matter to me. I just want the ratings to do well because I want them to do well. I want them to get rewarded for what I think is pretty good content. And
my criticisms may sound, nitpicky or like, like I'm constantly being negative and disparaging, but that's not my intent. I just want them to do better because they have a really talented roster.
Whoa,
here,
Scarlett Boudreaux. Sorry.
Yeah, and that's the
Woo!
thing. They've got a piss poor women's division, but yet they've got some really stellar talent there. Britt Baker, and I like Chris Statlander personally, but they have some people there that are damn good. Thunder Rosa.
Mm-hmm.
The rest, I don't know. I know Ruby Soho is supposedly going to be there very soon. As far as Sunday goes, we keep hearing that rumored. Yeah, I agree with Neil the One. He said everyone just watches clips or highlights now on YouTube. The Punk return has 8 million views, which is true, but there was nothing you have to see this live. You have to tune in. Back in the Attitude Era, it was like, what is going to happen?
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh, I can catch it on YouTube later. There's no urgency.
Well, we're really going to find out going forward with the YouTube numbers with the segments, but there's no really way around explaining it out. Like, this is not good. And the reason is because, WWE recently has been bad, like really bad. And yet their SmackDown show is rewarded with 3 million viewers. And,
sorry, I just got Scarlett on the stream. I just saw that.
Oh, you just saw that? Those pictures are amazing. I don't flip out for women that much. We talk about this. I don't get all like 14-year-old like me when I
usually don't know what she is.
Like, I see hot women a lot. I'm like, yeah, this person's hot. Okay, cool, whatever. But I saw those pictures of Boudreaux the other day, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, when a picture can make me think about like wax in it, like, that's pretty amazing. Like, it takes a lot for a photo.
Maybe I was too drunk.
Yeah, it takes a lot for a photo to make me go, oh, I'm gonna keep that. Like, I really never think about that almost ever.
I'm
care.
pretty much in the same boat with her. And I don't know even specifically what it's just a total package. The attitude, the looks.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but Jesus.
She has that
crazy.
Trish Stratus look, but different.
I like
Usually I don't like girls that are that skinny either.
That's weird. I like her better than Trish even. Like, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what it is.
The Sparrows are great.
Kind
of
doughy look. Ugh.
As we find, we haven't seen her on TV in a while. Same boat as Asuka. Apparently now has that arm injury. We saw her in an arm sling. when she showed off her new dentally implanted teeth. So good for her.
Was that like a year ago that she got that happened too?
It was actually only a couple months back.
Oh, really?
Feels forever
Oh, maybe
ago,
I'm thinking
but-
of Charlotte's teeth from a year ago.
So Cesaro got his knocked out a while back.
Yeah,
There's been quite
everyone.
a few people.
What is
have had
going
it,
on?
so.
The weird thing is everyone punches horribly now, but yet people's teeth are
That
getting knocked
and-
out like crazy.
Yeah, there's been a few mistakes and accidents. So
Well, and one of them is Bullfrog's life, but
Duncachino?
no
Don't
doubt.
mind if
Look
I
out.
do. What's my
it's
name?
Nick
Duncachino.
Grasso.
New game. Duncachino. You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend. Say hello to my chocolate blend.
Daffney was one of my favorites going to back to when she was in WCW. Very sad day, R.I.P. Scream Queen.
Nick Grasso, thank you so much, man. Rest in peace to Daffney. Let's play a clip. We got some Daffney audio right here. Whoa. What the hell was that? Somebody just dropped some shit upstairs. Do we have a little Daffney audio? Rest in peace.
I think we do.
Here he is. It's Mean Gene Daffney.
Daffney, of course, you are the WCW Cruiserweight Champ, and tonight you're going to have to defend the gold in a triple threat match against the Artist and Chris Candido. But hey, where's your fiance, David Flair? Shouldn't he be here
I
to
totally
support
forgot
you?
about that
By the way,
storyline.
nice wedding dress.
Oh, God. David Flair.
Mm-hmm.
What a curse.
Gene, I'm in a really bad situation here. I mean, I said I wanted a ring, not that ring. But it's okay, because I'm going to get married. Oh, there's something right there.
Dude, she pointed at Gene and then hit him in the nose like this. It's
But every time
ridiculous.
she yelled, the crowd started screaming with her. It was great.
Well, now I'm up here with you. Let me tell you something. I'm up here with you, Daffney. And I'll tell you, I had to go through St. Peter to get here. I don't know. Thank you, Gene. It's great to hear from you. It's been a while since we've heard from Mean Gene Okerlund, but here he is, ladies and gentlemen, to chime in here on the Joe Cronin Show. Let's go through the portal and Mean Gene, hello. Hello, Joe. I wish I could be down there with all of you and Hulkamaniacs interviewing Hulk Hogan, but I'm up here instead blowing St. Peter. Holy balls. Holy
See,
balls.
I've used my Ouija board to summon the spirit of Mean Gene before.
Thank you.
He made the little plastic piece come down the aisle. It was great.
Oh,
But this is how I know this is fake, because he's not in heaven, Joe.
Mean Gene? Oh, well, just because he touched a bunch of women and stuff? I mean, come on.
It's not the women.
You think he touched the boys?
No. It was the murder.
Mean Gene Okerlund murdered somebody? Is that what you're trying to say?
Quite a few people. He
What?
was Vince's basically his muscle.
I mean,
you wouldn't suspect him, but he had quite the
wait a
quite
second.
the aim, and he was pretty damn impeccable. He was like a
What
mafia
the-
boss.
What the hell is wrong with you? I mean, like, I met Mean Gene.
It's crazy, but think about it. He's like a mafia don all in one. Fuck it, and he gets all
Whoa.
mad. You could see the attitude.
Okay,
with
I
him.
guess you're right. Like, he would be scary if he flipped the switch. Like, he's like,
And that's exactly
Hey.
the power that Vince utilized with him
that's
for
a great
many
point.
years.
I never thought about that. Listen, I met Mean Gene, and I told Mean Gene to his face, I said, Mean Gene, listen, man, like, your voice inspired me as a kid. Like, it was like Howard Stern, George Carlin, you. There were several guys, comedians and announcers and, people in the media that inspired me, like, to have that vocal presence. And I told Mean Gene, I said, Mean Gene, you're one of them. And you know what he said after I told him all this compliments and stuff like that?
He wants your wife.
Yeah. He then said, well, isn't that something? Hey, who's the lady over there? Like,
Who's filming?
He didn't care. He just wanted to know who Leah was. He's like, hey, I'm like,
Alex might
listen.
be onto something too there. We never know. But yeah, that's the thing. It does make sense. He's Mean Gene
Yes.
for a reason, right? Stone Roses? That's for
Yeah.
sure.
So my thing is what Mean Gene does is he goes, well, that sounds great. We'll do that. And then he looks, and then as soon as like you walk away, he goes, have that man over there killed and raped.
Exactly.
Like, you know, like
And it gets done. He doesn't get
Yeah.
his hands. He didn't get at that point in time get his hands dirty anymore, but he did
Yeah.
in younger years.
like an
certainly.
hour, like you were like, Mean Gene, in an hour, can I do an interview with you for my podcast? And then Mean Gene's like, hey, of course, come on over, bring your whatever. And then you're like, wow, this is great, thanks, Gene, I'll be back in an hour. And you walk away, and he grabs his cigarette, he goes, hey, see that guy over there with the backwards hat? Have him murdered in the corner, and then bring his parts to my green room, and I'm gonna sodomize his sphincter.
Slip his wife $10,000 and tell her to meet me in my hotel room.
Holy balls!
With Jim Cornette. Are you kidding me? This guy has been institutionalized on 7 different occasions.
One of the biggest things I noticed about Mean Gene and Jim Cornette and all those guys is when I'm around people, I feel big. Like a lot of times, I feel like I'm big. Like when I'm around people, and people go, "Wow, you're bigger than I thought, Joe. Like you're taller and you're bigger than I thought." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, okay." And that tends to be what I notice. But around a lot of these wrestling guys, I'm not. Like they're big. Like I mean, like Mean Gene is big. Like Jim Cornette is huge. People don't know how big Jim Cornette is.
He's tall.
I mean, look at Mean Gene here. Like, look at his head compared to my head. And I'm sure, you know, your head grows as you get older. Maybe when I'm 80, you know, now his head looks like, I don't know, like a cantaloupe or something. I don't know. But and I'm going to be balding like that soon too. But here's where, you know, he's got a big head compared to me. I got a tiny head. You know,
They say Cornette's only 6 foot, but he always seemed taller than that.
That's
It was also the way he carried himself too.
Man, I don't know, because I mean, Jesus, when I was standing next to him, I mean, the guy was fucking huge. Like to me, like I mean, I was like, I thought I was as big
He might
as
have been
Cornette.
bigger, when they just built him at that because he was a manager.
I mean, I guess he's not that big looking at it now, but he just seems big. You know, like he looks big to me. Here,
He
like,
could have been bigger, you know, a few inches, like 6'1", 6'2", even, and have them not say that because he's a manager.
Well, I thought he was as tall as me, but I guess here he doesn't look that. I guess he is I guess he's not that much bigger than me here. He just proportionately is bigger. His hands are huge. His nose is way bigger than my nose. Lips, chin. You know, I got a small head. Maybe it's just my small
That's
head.
what a man looks
You know
like,
what?
you know?
That's what a man looks like. Yeah, you know what? You know what it is? It's just my small head. Although from the front, Jim Cornette has this like long rectangle head.
He's got that jowl thing going on.
I mean, I got that jowl thing going on. Look at
No, you got that, you know, that rounded look.
even Jimmy Corderas, he's way bigger than me. Like, what the hell's going on? You know,
I think it's the low angle of the camera.
You think
too,
so?
That kind
We're
of
gonna come up with excuses. I like it. Whatever
no,
we
I
can.
just think because it's mostly a lower shot than level or top down.
Yeah,
This guy's shoe size. He's got a problem.
I couldn't believe I was standing there with Mean Gene that close. By the way,
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I know, like I'm a full-on mark, and I've met a lot of wrestlers, a lot of people. I've met a lot of whatever, but I think the day that I was with Ric Flair by myself, like in a green room by myself with Ric Flair for like fucking 20 minutes with I'm like, I thought he would had a handler with him or somebody. There was nobody. It was just Rick and me, and you know.
And you said he was going down on that girl, but
Yeah, that's right. He did have fellatio on some woman. Will remain
the
nameless.
cheerleader,
But anyway,
the college cheerleader.
we'll get back to the donos. I see the donations coming in here.
Shit, Bob!
A lot of wrestling talk here. We haven't got into the predictions of All Out.
The
Whoa!
long-lost member of the bombing raid returns like a CM Punk return.
Whoa!
Sort of. R.I.P Daffney. Love your brother Cronin and the whole JCS army.
Oh my God!
Come, you fucking crazy fuck.
Broken Ambrose. Broken Ambrose. $40 super chat party.
It's awesome. Thank you so much. Glad to see you're back, Broken Ambrose.
That was
Yeah,
phenomenal.
Thomas, hope you have a better few days. He said he's having a rough day in the chat. Everybody I talk to is just having a really bad week this week, it seems.
Yeah,
I think it's just been honestly, poor Cody, his grandmother passed away, and so many people has been dealing with so much. And
Cody
it's
Mastro.
just- no, the WWE AEW news guy. On
Oh,
Twitter
yeah.
I talked to. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's got some. My DMs are so full. I haven't gotten back to everybody.
I haven't gotten back to quite a few people either because I literally was almost not going to make it tonight. Like I was like, what time's the show? You're like 10:30. I'm like, all right, good, because I got home right at 10.
Oh yeah, well we could have made it 11. You
know? No, but it worked out. I'm just saying, like I was worried. So
yeah, no, we're good to go. It's sexy, and yeah, it's a hard time. Broken Ambrose, man, thank you for the $40. That was
absolutely glad you're back. I mean, again, we said Daffney Unger's mother did confirm with everything. She said with great sadness, I have to let you know that my daughter Shannon did pass away suddenly last night, and I'm absolutely heartbroken. So I haven't seen if there's any type of GoFundMe or anything official. I saw some fans start things, and then those were taken down.
It just seems like everybody is just, it's too soon. It's like, this just happened.
That's what I'm saying, because I think they were trying to help with funeral costs, and the sentiment is nice. But
yeah.
Let them grieve first, and then actually try and plan things.
Yeah, I see stuff everywhere. I'm like, dude, she just died last night. We don't even know. Like, I just...
We don't know what happened. She wanted to donate her brain, she said many, many times over.
Yeah, she kept saying about sending it to Boston. Mm-hmm. And I was like, "What?"
And I mean, you can specifically pick out 2 or 3 instances in her career where like, oh yeah, she got messed up. She had many concussions in that one botch-filled moment. I could think of that one WCW match that everybody talks about, and then obviously in TNA she had a bad spell of concussions as well. So it's terrible. God knows what she was going through. But a lot of times, just like Benoit and others, people aren't themselves with that many concussions.
Yeah.
You lose yourself.
Yeah, who knows what was going on. But thank you, Broken Ambrose. You're the top dog right now. Yeah, anything...
I bet you it is some type of CTE, though.
I am worried about the 1 million. That's all I can say about it is I'm shocked.
Yeah, for the ratings, I really thought they would be better for the Go Home episode. But like I said last night, that's why we both gave it, 5.5, 6 out of 10. It didn't kill like it needed to. They needed this big explosion, and... a lot of the things felt weird. Like, why are these teams teaming together? When Jurassic Express and the Lucha Bros just face each other, now you're going to have them team up. Why have the Lucha Bros get pinned when they're going to try and go for the tag title Sunday?
I don't know.
Why not pin Jurassic Express? They're not in the tag title match.
Dude, it feels like they were like super pushing Jurassic Express, and then the Lucha Bros are some afterthought.
That's I agree.
I don't get it. I don't get it. Yeah, it makes.
I'm baffled.
Well, there's tons of things.
A lot of things like that.
Why does Billy Gunn get in the way of QT Marshall's heat? Why is that going on? There's a bunch of why does the spray make people happy on the good team and then spray it in someone's eyes on the other team and they can't see? There's all these weird contradictory things going on everywhere. It's very weird.
Why I don't even blame that. Moxley, another legend Japanese wrestler that no one knows of.
Yeah, and listen, I don't even care about that at all, and so that's a good point. But the point is I don't even care about what happened last night. I don't care if the show had been dog shit last night. I think the show was pretty good, but not the best, but I like pretend it was dog shit.
Yeah.
That rating, pretend it was awesome. I don't think the rating would have been much different. My concern is the rating. I don't care, had they done amazing things, bad things, good things, whatever. That
I think
rating
it would have
is still
helped
scary.
Because word of mouth and that type of buzz certainly does add to people coming in or tuning back. They started off, I guess, strong and then dropped off by a great margin. So
our only thing left to do to really measure the stick and see what happens here is now, I guess, the only thing left is this break the record for AEW pay-per-view sales? That's the only other number now we can measure on. What's the CM Punk's first match back in 7 years going to sell? And what is the top pay-per-view purchase rate for AEW? I don't know those numbers. You might be able to find them. Yeah. They're somewhere in the 150s.
Tomorrow night, CM Punk's going to be on commentary for the Darby Allin versus Daniel Garcia match.
So I predict you'll probably see something where they 3-on-2 and CM Punk again jumps in or something like that. I don't know. But
we're also going to see Miro because 2.0 is going to be in Daniel Garcia's corner. So I think you're right.
Okay.
So TNT champion Miro will speak to Eddie Kingston. Chris Statlander is going to be in a handicap match. She's taking on Rebel and Jamie Hayter. Okay, they're trying to build her now, but I feel like it's a bit too late for that. We haven't seen Statlander in weeks, and she returned. Now suddenly she's a number one contender. It feels so random.
Wait, so what's the women's title match?
It's going to be her and Britt Baker Sunday. So
Well, I mean, I guess
I'm not upset with the match. I just wish they built Statlander up more. I know Rampage, they're going to have her win this handicap match, but
Brit ain't losing that belt. That's what that means.
yeah, that's for sure. And then Malachi Black and Lee Johnson, I'm looking forward to on Friday because of the way Malachi Black sold everything and built it up. So Rampage is going to be, pretty decent Friday.
Yeah, you know what? I've been worried about Rampage, and I am worried about Rampage, kind of about what they're going to deliver. But I'll watch it. I'm gonna watch it. But it's just, and again, Dynamite felt so skewed because they were half promoting Rampage, half promoting All Out, and it made it a little bit confusing. And I don't know what to say about that. But there is something to.
Well, there was quite a few times, like I said, I can't recall everything that happened last night now. But I know there was a few things I was like, well, why did that happen? Why would they choose this? That didn't make a lot of sense. So I am curious as to what they're going to do with Rampage to finish building up for All Out.
I don't think much. I think it's going to be a lot of like
just those 3 matches.
Yeah, just kind of like do it again, but differently on Rampage, this type of stuff. So I think people will be. It'll be a nice little hour, but I don't think we're getting anything noteworthy. Where somebody is fence about watching it, they're gonna.
You donated $50.
Shit.
I'm gonna take my dick out because you donated $50. You donated $50, motherfucker, boy. I'm a rich motherfucker.
Broken Ambrose is back in the chat. The bombing raiders are back.
Oh, the bombing raiders are back here, baby. I freaked out for that earlier, D. Welsh. And look at that. D. Welsh is already there to trump him. Look at this. D. Welsh is like, yo, Broken Ambrose is back. Goodbye. He erases Broken Ambrose. Welcome back, Broken Ambrose. Love you, brother. Thank you. You are the top dog, D. Welsh. Your favorite cross-eyed donator. No, it's
and TJ21 said, Statlander, Alien Girl, gave up her match before, because she was injured. That's why she has her title shot. She was ranked number 1.
You're right.
That's fine, but they put her on the back burner when she came back to just help out Cassidy and the Best Friends. She hasn't been in anything prevalent in a long time.
Duncachino?
Now suddenly this week she's got a handicap match going for the title.
What's my name?
Thank you, D-Welsh.
Duncachino. It's a whole new game. Duncachino. You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend. Say hello to my chocolate blend.
Joe. It's Fenabinabri as ZRR.
Yo!
Dog, I'm always gonna love that.
Alexis Cardoso. It's finna be a breeze. Ah!
This finna be a breeze.
This finna be a breeze. Ah! I could do it all day, man. I could do it all day. Where's the Febreze clip from Bullfrog? I gotta find that.
Yeah, that's an even better one.
Hey Joe, it finna. What is he? It be a Febreze. Ah! That's what he says. Oh my God, dude. He goes, hey Joe, it's gonna be a Febreze. Ah! Holy shit, where is it? Oh my God, please let us find it.
It's gotta be there somewhere.
Please let me find it. Please let me find it. Come on, I'm looking. We're gonna find it, folks. I'm telling you. It's here somewhere. We're gonna find it. Fuck.
Somewhere in there.
It's gonna be a Febreze.
So WWE sent their superstars an offer for free therapy.
Oh.
And this is in the response.
You're gonna need it if you work there.
Well, that's what Carl Anderson said. He went ahead and he brought up, he said, they suck, bro. And he said that then Ryback called Sapp a fucking cunt mark as well. It was an interesting day.
Wait, what? Is it what?
We'll get into Ryback in a moment.
Wait, Ryback called Sean Ross Sapp a cunt mark?
A fucking cunt mark, if you want the direct quote, yes.
I love it.
Over this tweet.
Get him, Ryback.
We'll get into that in a minute.
Get him, Ryback. I fucking hate Ryback, and I hate Sean Ross Sapp. Nothing can be better.
Flip a coin. Who do you want to see destroy who?
I honestly want to see Sean Ross Sapp hurt by Ryback. Like because, okay, so here's why. Ryback is obviously a dumb idiot who is fake, dumb, crazy, whatever, right? We know this.
Yeah.
Everybody knows this. That isn't stupid. But Sean Ross Sapp has a lot of smart people convinced that he's this beautiful person and whatever. But he's really a douchebag shithead. So I think I would rather see cross-eyed Cyclops sap assaulted by Ryback as opposed to the other way around. Believe it or not, I'm in Ryback's corner here.
Well, Ryback, here's the point that he made. So, again, SRS says, WWE sent out a message to talent today noting that they are providing counseling service if anyone is in need of help. Machine Gun Carl Anderson replies, "They suck, bro." People start going after him, calling him a wife cheater, all that shit. Now Ryback says, in response, "They also haven't called me once after breaking my back and shoulder. Hundreds of thousands in medical costs, along with legal fees. Sean is a fucking cunt, Mark. The truth always wins out. Fuck all these guys. Oh, and suppressing my social media and putting out countless lies, GTFO."
Okay, first of all,
and then Carl Anderson
before you continue that, hold on a minute. Let me just set this straight. WWE didn't suppress his Twitter. He literally thinks that WWE alters his Twitter.
And Facebook and Instagram
and everything.
And he thinks
like,
they're
saying that.
keeping him down. Yeah,
he's an idiot. All that's happening is you used bots, Ryback, which is against the Twitter TOS terms of service, and so they froze your account several times, and you got in trouble and suspended because you illegally, against TOS, hired a bot program to follow people and then unfollow them so you could grow subs, grow followers. You're a dummy. So, like, he's a dumbass right there. We know that. Anyway, continue on with
that's exactly what I was going to get into. You brought all that up.
Okay,
that's what I was going to say. I was exactly going to explain that to everyone, that he's not being suppressed. He's not being...
No, I think he knows that. I think he's just making shit up to get...
Well, he has to. He has to have that narrative that he's had, that WWE's evil, and...
Yeah.
They do enough for themselves. And then, of course, Carl Anderson starts replying and getting nasty with people, and he's like, "You marks are too easy. When you post up up at a fucking hotel begging for a pic or an autograph, let me know." You know, and then he starts going in on the fans more, calling some ugly and some, "When's the last time you got laid?
Whoa.
Say that to my face, you fucking bitch." Like, he really just started going in.
I like him.
Yeah, so he's like, "God, you're gross. You're why I don't sign autographs." You know, he just continually attacked fans.
Wait, he cheated on his wife?
Yeah, he's like, "Don't you have a wife you cheat on?" Yeah, that was the story for quite a while that was posted during the speaking out thing.
But he's always like, "I got a hot Asian wife" and stuff.
Yeah, basically, Carl Anderson often refers to him as my hot Asian wife. Her name is Christine. 2 days ago, she posted a photo on Instagram of him sleeping, and she wrote the word cheater and asshole all over him. The caption said, "I don't play nice." So she posted a picture of him sleeping, and she wrote cheater and asshole all over him. And then the story came out that, yeah, there have been many stories, but he did cheat on her, and they were able to fix it after the fact, but he did cheat on his wife. So
wow. So they're still together.
She's like, Halloween 2020, what else can go worse now?
Wow. So, but they're still together, though.
Yes. They ended up working out the issue. So should have stayed private, but I don't know why she felt the need to post. Hey, whatever. Yeah. Call him out. That's her prerogative. But
dude, listen, if I did that, I would. My wife wouldn't be here. It'd be over. But that's pretty lucky, though, I guess. Then I guess that's a fair thing to, say, I suppose.
Yeah, hot Asian wives get boring after a while. I agree, Crazy Horse.
You know that, like, this Tony Deppen guy that I see, I hear of him here and there, and I don't even know who he really is, but I've been at 3 different shows where he was booked and didn't show up. I don't know what that means. I don't know if it was the promoter's fault, someone else's fault, but weird. I've always almost run into him. I've almost run into Tony Deppen like several times, and each time he either backs out or they change something or whatever. It's very weird.
Because he was. I remember when he was a TV champ of ROH.
Okay, yeah. See, I don't know. I don't remember him, but I just know that, like, I've almost seen him like several times, and someone said, "I hate Tony Deppen. He didn't come," or something. I'm like, no, I don't think this is a problem with him. I think this is just coincidental. I don't think he did anything wrong. It's just funny to me that, like, I always see this guy. I'm about to see him, and then something booking wise changes. Like, this is the most like canceled booking person I've ever heard, like, ever been a part of, and I don't think it's his fault. So I'm not trying to say he's some kind of ditcher or something like that. I'm just saying it's funny. I almost called several of his matches, and then it never happened. But anyway, so ROH. Okay, I was trying to figure out where he was from. I don't know. So that explains that. So, hey, listen. I think he's from New York. I'm not sure, but...
Joe, I'm sending you an email from how the gunshot didn't
Oh,
finish
no,
me off.
my
It was
God,
cyanide
no, we're
and
not
the hot
gonna-
poker jammed
No.
in my vog. I see a lot of people from Kentucky and
Oh,
how
we're not
is
going to do that.
scumbag.
That's just terrible. That's horrible. Oh, I found it.
Hey, Joe, it's going to be a Febreze. Hey, Joe, it's going to be a Febreze.
This finna be a breeze.
I
Hey,
fucking
Joe,
love
it's
that.
going to be a Febreze.
It's going to be a Febreze. It's the way he comes at the end.
Hey, Joe, it's
yeah.
going to be a Febreze.
It's going to be a Febreze.
Oh, I guess we got to get into
It's
it.
going to be...
Oh, God. Relax. Relax.
Got to get into it. I can't relax, and he's excited too because
We're all
it's the AEW All Out 2021 card.
Wait a minute. Biden's excited, too. My God, Biden's here.
Give him ice cream.
Yeah, wearing Depends.
Forgetting his pen, forgetting his friends. Is this how it ends? But we'll still pretend.
Hey, Joe, it's going to be a Febreze.
Oh, it's a weekend in Biden's. No matter what they say, we can make it talk today. Here he goes, and he's away. He's friends with all of the Nazis. Communism in China's great. It's America he hates.
Cause we all live under the rain. I said you know of a wonky, but they ain't here anymore. Don't have to settle no goddamn score. Cause we all live under the reign of a wonky.
What the hell? Is that a Creed lyric? It is Creed lyrics. That's the name of the guy.
Yep.
Should have been there on a Sunday morning, banging my hair.
He's on crack. Speaking of problem,
Funny, Christian rock, and he would preach all this and just be so fucked up on stage.
and yet people were worried about him a few years ago. You remember when people were worried about Scott Stapp? He was like skinny and on crack, and he was suicidal online and stuff like that. And people were very
he
worried
lost
about him.
it.
Yeah, I was worried about him. It's nobody wants to see someone famous fall from grace into horrible. You're like, but he's better now, and I guess he's releasing all this new music and stuff like that. Reminds me of the
Sure they do. That's why TMZ was invented. People love seeing
some people
fall to
do.
shit.
Well, this was a
Most people love it's Schadenfreude.
This was a Brendan Fraser situation. He kind of he used to look amazing, and I don't know.
People felt sympathy for him.
Brendan Fraser?
Other people they genuinely like to see them miserable. So,
well, some people like that. Yeah, that's
why
people don't.
TMZ and all that drama stuff exists.
I like to see people get crazy for a little bit and then come back from it. But if it just keeps going, that irritates me. I don't want to see someone I like when I freak out and I'm flipping out and losing it, and then 5 minutes later I'm okay, and then we're doing a show. I like to see that sort of thing. It's kind of funny. But you don't want to see somebody every oh God, every day that's the worst.
Duncachino? Don't mind if I do.
Alex Oli.
What's my name? Duncachino. It's a whole new game. Duncachino. You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend. Say hello to my chocolate blend.
Christian Cage versus Kenny should be good, but where does the championship go after this? Do you have any predictions who's next for Kenny or Christian?
That's a good point. It's either somebody else big, or Jericho, in my opinion. I think it's either someone else big or it's Jericho. What I mean by that is face Jericho. Face Chris Jericho gets the belt back is what I want. That's what I want to see personally. I want to see Jericho Omega 4 or whatever it is, and Jericho wins the belt off of Kenny Omega. Who did Jericho lose the belt from? Was Kenny? No, it was Moxley.
Moxley, yeah.
So I want to see Jericho beat Kenny Omega for the title. I think that's the strongest thing. And then after that, maybe it's CM
Have they
Punk.
fought against each other for the title?
Not in AEW. I don't think. No, I don't.
I think so.
So that's. Are we not? How could we not lead to that?
it'd be good to have Hangman, but
Well, I mean, when he gets back, I think Hangman could be the guy. But,
So I think they're going to do Christian, and then I think they're honestly going to do Bryan. Bryan Danielson.
Yeah, I would guess Bryan, too, because...
They wanted something big, and...
So so what I've been thinking is the Andrade thing is like a fake, right? So Andrade's got a mystery opponent now that Pac can't get here, and it's going to be somebody else, like not Buddy Murphy, somebody like that, somebody else like that, some kind of mid card person that it's not Daniel Bryan, we thought it would be, and maybe Daniel Bryan won't be till the end of the show. Then again, maybe it will be Daniel Bryan, and he's going to face Andrade.
That would be a great match.
But they love the lights out thing. I mean, I can't get over that. I can't get over the lights out thing. And I mean, maybe that's my question is, and maybe Cody Rhodes is the lights out, which would drive.
Yeah, but think about it. You hear the final countdown play when they announce the unknown opponent of Andrade.
Exactly. Yeah. So that'd be big. But then
that would be huge as Daniel Bryan walks out.
But then
chance in full effect in Chicago. I got goosebumps thinking about it.
And I guess it makes sense because Kenny Omega and Christian won't go on last. Kenny Omega will retain. So the show isn't going to end with Kenny Omega, the bad guy, retaining the belt.
No, Punk's going to be the main event.
Right. So it'll be Punk and Darby holding up each other's hands. I guess will be the end. And then maybe a surprise return or maybe somebody. But...
I mean, and Carl Anderson is still trending on Twitter, like worldwide at this point.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
He's getting over better than he does on the TV show.
It literally says for the Twitter moment, former WWE wrestler Carl Anderson is attracting criticism for his response to the organization's announcement they are offering counseling services to their talent.
He's not trending for me, but that's because I'm looking at just United States.
Yeah, he says, in this related topic, Carl Anderson is quick to respond when it comes to this wrestling war. But when his wife catches him piping down school cafeteria ladies behind her back, he is quiet as all hell. What a clown. So,
well, I mean, at that point, if you can't speak up because you made a mistake once, I mean, might as well just end your Twitter account. I mean, I don't know.
Pretty much. That's with everybody, though. They're always going to bring back something you did because that's the only defense mechanism they have.
I'm a Mark. Come on my pod. I'm gonna tweet to him. I'm a Mark. Come on my podcast. We're live now with 500 people. Come. You got the most heat today. Hashtag winning. I just fucking tweeted him.
There you go. Oh Jesus. Now that should be interesting. We'll see what happens there.
I'm gonna go retweet it so people can find it because that's funny. I love Twitter. I wrote, I'm a Mark. Come on my podcast. We're live now with 500 people. You got the most heat today. Hashtag winning. Oh, man. Fucking Machine Gun K.A. Carl Anderson?
Yeah.
So he took Machine Gun Kelly's name?
He's always had the Machine Gun.
Oh, okay. So Machine Gun Kelly
moniker.
took his name.
He had it like in New Japan, 2008, 7 or 8?
Oh my God! Then he did get ripped off.
Maybe 2009. I know it was like a long time ago. Because he was the Machine Gun, he'd come out and do the whole machine.
You think he'd
and
block?
He was in
you think he'd
the
block
original
me?
Bullet Club? No.
No, the chat thinks he's going to block me for that. I
don't think he'll block you for
really?
that.
I don't think so. He knows I'm a supporter.
He's got a pretty funny attitude with fans and stuff.
Yeah, oh, yeah. He's fucking with people, dude. He doesn't care. He fucking said something, people taking it seriously, and he's fucking with people right back.
People are like, oh, you care more about how you're being booked than them being ahead. And, it's like, that's not the case. Whatever. He was just criticizing them like, oh, of course, now they're offering help, but they never do anything any other time.
Right.
I understand it's WWE virtue signaling. Oh, let me reach out to our staff and say, here, yeah, I'm glad they offered something, but they only did it to get themselves a pat on the back.
Listen, I think the truth lies in the middle with WWE. I got to be honest. Like, I think I've seen some legitimate people who have been really helped by WWE, and I've still seen legitimate situations where they've completely dropped the ball still. So I think the truth lies in the middle. I think some people, for one reason or another or whatever, have been helped extraordinarily by WWE. I think WWE has helped people extraordinarily in some cases. And I think in other cases they have completely drop the ball with some situations. So I just think that's the truth. I think there's some times where they fuck up, they just don't care, it seems like, and there are other times where they are angels. And so depending on who you are and what, whatever, you're going to have a different opinion on that. And that's really what I think the truth is that they're not, I think that they could be better, more perfect. I think they could have a more like set way of making sure they do a lot of things. Not that it's necessarily up to them to save everybody and do things and whatever else, but I do think that if it's something they're capable of, which it is, why not be a good company? Why not be good to people?
Yeah,
so
absolutely. I think these people should have health and medical, dental, no matter what. Independent contractors, my ass, they should have this stuff included, especially when they're putting their bodies on the line constantly. And yeah, Carl Anderson debuted in 2002 after being trained by Les Thatcher.
My buddy, Les!
Yep, in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Les Thatcher. Train Moxley.
Yep, in Heartland Wrestling Association.
Wow. Les
over
is
in Ohio.
Go see him. He's still training if you're in Ohio. Yep. Bullfrog, you hear that?
So then
Twice.
He went to the National Wrestling Alliance, obviously, NWA, for their convention. He ended up getting noticed by Dave Marquez of the New Japan Dojo that they had in LA, and then made it to New Japan in 2008, right after being shortly debuted in Ring of Honor. And then he was in New Japan till basically 2016, even though he was in WWE basically at the point at the end there of 2016. So in April, it wasn't that late.
Right.
But yeah, Bullet Club started for them 2012 and till 2016. When they left the WWE, they stayed, and then they got let go in 2020.
Listen, there's a reason why Carl Anderson's calling out WWE. Just because WWE has helped a lot of people, and I appreciate those people coming to the defense of WWE to say, my experience is great. But in my opinion, obviously Carl Anderson not only has had bad experience, but also has lots of friends who have had a bad experience. Therefore, he's speaking up because he saw that. So depending on your personal perspective, you're going to feel different. That's why there's an argument going on, why he's calling them dicks, and other people are like, they're great, you should shut up. Like, listen, this is his perspective. It's weird. Didn't WWE help Mike Bennett a lot? And Mike Bennett and Maria shit on WWE constantly. But
I don't know, because a lot of that was said, but then it was like it was outside help, but just people within WWE.
But they like virtue signaled about WWE was so beautiful to us and everything, and now they're like,
I think
WWE
just because
sucks.
they were in the company and they were being like, you're going to make this into a positive since this was a negative.
Right, like we won't fire you, but
I think that was part of the agreement.
I would love to hear I'd love to hear that take, because they really.
I would too, because that was one of the things I read years back, and it lined up. So
they blew WWE. Well, they went
like above and
my
beyond
husband.
to defend him at that point.
Yeah, they're like, oh, he saved my husband. Like, oh,
and then WWE screwed them over by saying, yeah, go ahead, get pregnant, and we'll support your second child, your family. She got pregnant, and they were like, how dare you get pregnant now? We didn't say now,
right.
That kind of idea. And it's like, who are you to say when I can have a child? But any event, I mean, I understand you're a contracted talent, but I don't know. The whole thing was just a disaster, and they procured a lot of talent that they didn't want to get rid of just because they didn't know what was going to happen with AEW. It wasn't an overnight success, but AEW certainly been a hit. So WWE has not looked at them as total competition, but now they're starting to become that competition. So we'll see what happens in the future.
Well, this mark has more patrons than Carl Anderson, so just want to shout out.
Go think about that.
Take that, Mr. Carl. I know I like Carl Anderson. I'm just fucking around trying to get him on the show. But yeah, we've got almost 300 patrons. He has 218, so I win.
Can't beat that.
So
especially beginning of the month. So all right, AEW All Out. Getting into the match card, the Women's Casino Battle Royal. I really feel like the winner of this is going to be Lana. No, I'm just kidding. I think it's going to be Ruby Soho. She's been posting all of the little vignettes. Basically, I think it's kind of been spoiled, but in its own way, just because she's posted the vignettes and we know something's going to happen with her. So
right,
I think she'll be the Joker, but she needs to be treated better, unlike what they did in WWE. So I'm interested to see what happens.
I think who are the other two women?
There's 22 or 21 participants.
She's definitely the surprise. I don't know if she'll win though.
I think she's going to be the surprise. So,
but who could win? That's the thing. Do we have a list of competitors?
let me double check here.
Because they don't always win when they. In fact, the Joker. Some people have been downright fucking atrocious. You know, like one time, what's his face slipped off the top rope. A second time, somebody like got eliminated pretty quickly, and it was kind of like, oh, that's who it is.
Yeah,
remember?
Leo Rush was the Joker one.
Yeah, Leo Rush. Then he retired. He was
trying
done.
to think who else. Matt Seidel, wasn't he?
Yep, he fell.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, so like,
okay, here we go. Kylan King, Abaddon.
Nope.
Layla Hirsch.
Nope.
Rebel.
Nope.
Jamie Hayter.
Put her in the maybe.
She might have a chance because of the Britt Baker storyline. Because Britt said if Jamie wins, then she just doesn't do anything with it because she's on my side.
Yeah, I'll put that on my notepad here.
Anna Jay and Tay Conti.
Nope.
Thunder Rosa.
Maybe Thunder Rosa.
Emi Sakura. Freddie Mercury.
Nope.
Hikaru Shida.
Nope.
Kira Hogan.
Nope. I'm glad to see her though.
That Botch. Jade Cargill.
I put her on the list. Okay, I'll put her down.
Stinky Fish. Julia Hart.
Nope.
Big Swollen.
Nope.
Ego. The Bunny.
Nope.
Red Crush Velvet.
Nope.
Penelope Ford.
Nope.
Nyla Rose.
Nope.
Diamante.
Nope.
And that's everybody, I believe, right now announced.
And this person is going to go on to face Britt Baker?
Yes.
Where?
It just says future.
Okay. So, this is so tough. So I'm
saying Hayter
Hayter
or Ruby at that point.
Hayter, number 1. I go Thunder Rosa, number 2. Is Soho S-O-J-O?
S-O-H-O. Soho.
Oh, yeah, Soho. Yeah. So, all right. So I'm going Jamie Hayter 1, yep. And then Thunder Rosa 2. And then I'll go Ruby Soho 3. And then Jade 4. Anybody else in the chat, put your numbers down. Put your list down. Tweet them down. Comment them to me. Do whatever you want to do to me. And we'll figure it out.
I'm going to pick Ruby first, then Thunder Rosa, then
Okay.
Jamie, then Jade.
Okay. All right. We got it marked down. Someone timestamp later. So there you go. All right, so that could be. I hope it comes down to like those 4 women and then a couple others, like 6 of them. That would be interesting if as long. But if Jade gets eliminated earlier in the middle, or if Rosa gets eliminated earlier, I'd like to. It'd be nice if there was 6 to 7 to 8 viable women at the end in there somehow, because that would be every elimination would be interesting. To me, or for me it would be. But yeah, that's it. Cool.
Yeah. So next up, we have John Moxley taking on Satoshi Kojima.
Ooh.
It has to be Moxley.
Kojima's coming out, baby. Look out. No, it's Moxley, for sure. Moxley 100%.
It's got to be Moxley. Oh, I did forget about the buy-in pre-show. We have Best Friends, Cassidy, Taylor, and Wheeler Yuta teaming with Jurassic Express, facing Matt Hardy, Private Party, and TH2, the Hardy family, whatever you want to call them at this point, the losers.
Right.
I imagine they'll do a everybody gets their big spot moment type thing to hype up the crowd in the YouTube show. I think the faces will go over here.
On the pre-show, what match is this again?
Just a 10-man tag.
Okay.
The Jurassic Express and Best Friends against the Matt Hardy crew.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
I think Matt Hardy will lose. Like
Matt
always.
Hardy's team will lose. Yeah, they're awful. They're just terrible. They've got to lose. Get the hype crowd. No, nothing would unhype the crowd more than Matt Hardy's group losing. And listen, I love Matt Hardy. We all know how much we love Matt Hardy. For some reason, first of all, Big Money Matt sucks. And for some weird reason, he is making Private Party worse. Like this team has completely been derailed. And just, I don't know, man. It's weird. Usually managers bring up a team and
He makes them feel illegitimate.
Yeah, he makes them feel bad. I'm sorry, and I'm really saying this. I always say positive things about Hardy constantly. I tell him when he's good. I'll tell you when it's bad too. This is bad. Private Party needs to go back to being the Private Party gimmick, and they're partying and they're drinking and the cups, and it's on, and we're having tag team matches, and it's a fun time. They need to get the hell away from Hardy. There is absolutely no reason why this team is heel, and there's no reason why they're with Hardy. He's making them worse. They are almost non-existent in this situation. Big Money Matt Hardy has been, but he has been funny at times in himself. I think Matt Hardy by himself, like trying to, accrue people is funny. I would think it'd be funnier if he had almost no one to represent. Or if he suckered in like younger talent, like some of the younger guys who are like really, like I would think that Hardy could do better with like the varsity blondes than with the
Yeah, he's just not relatable to Private Party's gimmick.
It doesn't make sense. Well, do they even have a gimmick now? Now they're just the
Well, now they don't. That's the problem, because they got in with Hardy, so they lost their identity.
I think Hardy...
They became stooges. He was taking their money, and he made them out to be idiots. That's also what hurt them.
I wish Matt Hardy would just go broken again, because that's just all I like at this point.
I'm sick of it at this point. I feel like it's failed so many times. I lost interest in it.
I don't.
Sadly,
I think I want to see it. I just don't want to see it on the level that they were doing it before. And I don't. There's no reason why it shouldn't be here, because it was funny and it was good. Like even when Jericho when the drone attacked Jericho in his backyard, and that shit was funny. And then it was like the only reason I think the broken gimmick failed several times in WWE and now in AEW is because I believe they didn't put effort into it. I didn't see any effort put into it.
Vince didn't get it, so that makes sense. And they were fighting forever to get the gimmick, so it came in too late as well. The hype was dead much more than it could have been. It had died down, basically. And then on top of it,
well, they kept
Tony Khan got it,
go.
But there was no live fans to play off.
Tony Khan said he really doesn't get it. Have you heard him? He kind of is
he said he wasn't crazy about it, but he didn't love it. He was never a big fan of it, but he got it. He let Matt do what he wanted to do.
Right.
I think because there was no audience to play off of, and that's what it needed, was that live crowd.
I really hope it comes back in a good way. And the only thing is, if it comes back and fails again, dude, I mean, like it's actually to the point, Jake, where you just made a good point that people are annoyed by it. People don't like it. People are annoyed by the Hardy. That's why he decided to do this, to drop it and go heel, because he was like, okay, people are sick of this and me, and I'm not doing the right thing. I don't know what's going on. Or I'll go heel. But I really want to see it back. And I think the reason, like you just said, the reason why he didn't put a lot of spirit into it was because it wasn't really working well without a crowd, I guess. But again, like I said, it was wonderful, like when he was doing it. And a lot of people that didn't watch Impact in 2016, I mean, that shit made me watch Impact. I fucking watched Impact because of him.
Because then it was original, outlandish, unprecedented, and new.
Right.
And then WWE just tried to capture that and do it over again.
But not really. They didn't try to do it over again. That was my complaint, is that they sort of just
they did it in a WWE formula. They were like, look, he's broken. Isn't that what you wanted? But they didn't do the story.
Yeah, there was no story.
They ended up with a deletion match. Like, that was their goal. So
he'd come out there and he'd be like, yes, and then WWE fans were just like, what is he doing? What is this?
Yeah, why is he doing this? What is the point of this? So they didn't have enough to make the fans enjoy it. They didn't see the transition and not enough of an explanation. And then AEW, the fans were a bit more, smart and aware. So they knew the fans would be a bit more into it, but then the fans couldn't be there. So they did the teleport stuff and people started hating on that. And then he was in the ice machine changing costumes and people weren't happy with that either. And it all just kind of blew up from there. So the concussion issue that he had with, just all of it. He didn't have a good time in AEW initially.
Yeah. And I kind of liked it. And I certainly liked it, dude. Even the worst stuff, like everything he did before Big Money Matt, in my opinion, was the best. Other than the time with Adam Page, other than the Adam Page contract sign thing where he pretended like he was drunk, that was awesome. That was great. that thing where he slipped the contract and then pretended like he signed it, and Matt Hardy was like, "Oh, okay." Like,
yeah, that was funny.
That was funny. Like, that was the funniest goddamn thing.
That's because Hangman, I think, sold it well too. Like, Matt was okay. He fit the pompous asshole role, but I think Hangman really met that. Made it excellent.
I agree. I just think that, but Matt is what made me laugh. Matt being so excited that he's like, "Oh, this is great." Well, this is like, it's fucking killed me, dude. But he was so, like, Hangman was so smooth. The both of them together made that beautiful. Everything else after that for Matt has not been very good. This stuff is not working. It's so weird to say that. I think Matt is 1 for 3 in AEW. I think he did well with his initial broken stuff, and then the broken stuff failed, and now Big Money Matt, in my opinion, is a failure. So that's he's 1 out of 3. So I'm hoping he can go back to broken again. I'm hoping this is what we've always asked for. This is what I've asked for. I thought they were going to do it when he fell and hit his head, because that was
I thought so too, because that was the perfect time to do it. He couldn't even, but I guess they didn't want to trivialize that and have it turn into a storyline. But they should have used that, because you got nothing out of it.
Yeah. So I mean, I hope that soon Matt Hardy has a match where he gets broken, and he acts crazy, and they can go do all this craziness again. I think that'd be fun, but like you said, a lot of the people that loved it before, I would say most people are off the ship. I don't know if you can bring that back. I don't know if you can salvage it. Even if it's good, I feel like some people are like, nope, I'm off that boat. But I'm not. I thought that shit was hilarious when he was broken, and I hope they bring it back.
Yeah, see, I'm more off the boat now.
New member. Yes.
I just don't want to watch this
I'm
anymore.
Hard. I'm so good. Oh my god, I'm hard for the new member.
Okay, that's Luis Urdaneta. No, Urdaneta. Luis Urdaneta. Thank you for 2 months in a row becoming a sub, man, and a member down below. Thank you so much for that, man. Appreciate it. And some of you guys are members down below and you're patrons, and that's badass. So thank you so much for that. And let's see if we got another one coming in here. Oh, shit, the real.
You become
Janice.
a shit bomb.
Jericho gonna lose and be a commentator until he returns to WWE and retires, just my opinion. With AU signing some great stars in A. Cole, Bray and D. Bryan. This will force WWE to step up. This is GR8 for us wrestling fans.
Listen, this is not a bad prediction. I really believe that. This is not a bad prediction. And man, thank you for $20.
Yeah, Jericho, not at all a bad prediction, because we'll get to it when we get to the match.
Well, but Jericho could be doing a Macho Man here, and so he's like, what, a year left? Not even a year left to re-sign, and become a commentator for like 6 months to 8 months or less, and then go back to WWE to do his amazing Jericho Returns thing, which he loves doing, to make a gigantic amount of money for a year or something.
Would the fans be as open arm for him? I could see him back, but
oh yeah, are you serious? Like, Jericho is has this surprise comeback in WWE. I mean,
I don't know if people would feel like, he betrayed us for AEW, if there would be or if AEW would feel betrayed by him, and that would ruin him for them. I'm just curious if that would play a part in it at all.
I would be,
because we haven't seen anybody go the other way, back to WWE at this point.
I don't want to see Jericho go back to WWE for another 2 or 3 years, although he has said he's going to do it. He basically said, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, he confirmed it.
And I get it, because you go back in front of 2 million people, do the whole countdown thing again somehow with some innovative way of returning.
I still love the swerve they did when I was there. They had the, big surprise all night, big stars coming back. Who's it going to be? Everybody's in the back talking. Then finally it happens. We get this new intro, and it's The Miz. He walks to the ring and everybody's disappointed. And then all of a sudden the lights don't even go off. Nothing yet. Just the pyro goes off, and then the lights go down, and it's Jericho. And that's the one on my YouTube where I'm flipping out and my voice cracks. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was great because it was so unexpected. It was just, that's the kind of thing. If they could do that, I would hope for them to have that, the surprises.
I think one of my favorites is the Randy Orton one where he clotheslines the guy carrying the torch.
Yeah. And
yeah. That was so
I almost
funny.
wish that he didn't do that at that point, but it's so epic that I couldn't stop laughing.
Dude, I lost my mind because I think if we remember, I believe that it was kind of like said Jericho's. I think that's one of the only ones or one of the main ones that was spoiled or something, or like where someone was like, the rumor is Jericho's there. And like basically what happened though is I forgot about that rumor that Jericho was there. I'm watching this guy carrying a fiery torch. And all night, Randy Orton is like, we're celebrating my victory, blah, blah, blah. And then to see the torch is coming into Raw. The torch is coming down to the ring. And as the torch guy's coming down the hallway in Gorilla, and then someone clotheslines him. And then it's just Jericho like, ah.
Yeah, just you get the shot from behind.
Yeah.
You don't see his face yet.
And then the music turns on, and he's, oh my
It's
God.
like, did you
dude.
crack the code to save us Y2J and the code breaker? And yeah, he comes out to a huge response.
His hair's cut.
Yeah, he had a totally different look.
I mean, dude, and then in New Japan, his fucking shit in New Japan, his new music, his new look, his arrivals everywhere are always like this guy. Nobody like that's what he's become known for ever since coming
he's
to WWE.
reinvented himself so many times.
Starting
It's
in
incredible.
1999 with his WCW jump, you know what I mean? That was.
But even
such
before
a,
that, from
How do you
being
do
a
this?
cruiserweight to a guy that was competent on the mic, he went from ECW and New Japan all the way over, back to WCW and took over the cruiserweights for a while, and he just had enough charisma to make it work.
I just mean his entrances like in new places. But let's go back to the we got to go back to the predictions. I'm sorry, I've got us all over.
No, well, we're here. I mean, we might as well talk about it. What do you think is going to happen? Do we see Chris Jericho win? Or does MJF beat him, making him retire from in-ring competition in AEW?
The only thing that worries me is that Jericho's like, listen, we got Punk, we got Daniel Bryan, I am gonna step it, whatever. So I
could see them getting out of it by doing a Jericho lights out match or something like that, where it's not sanctioned.
I'm still gonna pick Jericho. I'm gonna pick Jericho to win.
Yeah, because MJF's beaten him 3 times now. There's no need for a 4th. He's put him over enough. Jericho should be getting his revenge now.
Well, he doesn't need to get his revenge if he's retiring, and that doesn't matter.
Yeah, but I don't think he's retiring at this point. He's still got the cruise. He's got. I think he's got enough gas left in his tank still.
Yeah, if he was leaving, it wouldn't matter how many times MJF beat him because he could say, "I love this MJF guy. I'm putting him over." So, like, I'm gonna make people. He's gonna be the one that retired
if he was
Jericho.
leaving, absolutely, I would want to see MJF win. But I don't believe that he's actually leaving. I just think it's a believable. Stipulation.
The fact that
of him being so busy still.
The fact we're talking like this means it worked.
Exactly.
We're sitting here
As
talking
where the other
about
night talking about the show is a it doesn't work, but this does.
Right. Oh, Big Show?
Yeah, just in general, talking about you're talking about it. Well, yeah, we talk about every Dynamite.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the guy that donated that was like, you're talking about it. Yeah, we talk about everything that happens on the show. But yeah, the fact that we're conflicted a bit. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, but I'm going Jericho.
I agree with Jericho as well. I do not see him retiring from in-ring competition yet, but it's a good storyline, and it could happen.
Dude, I think Jericho loves the idea of being able to go back to WWE for a year and then come back again to AEW. I think oh my God.
Yeah, he's like, Tony, I'm going to go make $12 million for, a contract out of Vince. I'm going to get more than Lesnar, watch.
And then
he could play Vince thinking that he's defecting from Tony.
Right. Oh yeah.
Get more money if he was smart.
WWE would give him $5 or $6 million for a year, no doubt in my mind.
Absolutely. As I'm saying, 2 years, $12 million, take it.
Yeah, and then come back to AEW. Fuck it.
Yeah. And then do your commentary if you still want to do it.
I think it's something he's on the fence about but wants to do and likes to do, no doubt. But
I bet you can get that money with a semi-part-time schedule. Not as limited as a Lesnar, but about that.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
More like what Edge has done so far.
Because, well, yeah, I mean, and if you get Edge and Jericho on a somewhat minor basis, like, that's pretty big.
Yeah, and you can have them two eventually finish off their rivalry with one match. That could be a big, like a Survivor Series match, or absolutely.
Chris has got to slow it down a bit, and I feel like in the ring too. I mean, he's got to like almost start working like Hogan or something.
That, or he's got to start really changing his
Stop drinking.
workout regimen. Yeah, he's gonna have to change his lifestyle more.
Well, speaking of lifestyle, let's go to the lifestyle of the donators.
Mean Gene, Freddie Blassie, and Grand Wizard used to have sodomy parties in the basement of Maple Leaf Gardens in 1978. Mae Young would gangbang a fence seeker while they watched Mulafel Lou Albano.
Oh my
Where'd
God.
my army icon go? Became sponsor last night.
Gun Club are Mongoloids. Jesus Christ. Thank you, Gun Club are Mongoloids. Thank you so much for becoming part of the Mongoloid Club here on the Joe Cronin Show and hitting that membership button down below and going to Patreon and becoming patrons. Thanks to Joe Bishop as well, who became a $25 producer. He's a $25 freaking producer, is Joe Bishop. Thank you. We got more coming in. Oh shit! Oh my God, Black Lab!
Let's get gay, I want that gay in my face, I want that gay, let's get gay, it's a party, it's
Oh my
for
God.
gays. I love gays, I want gays, I'm not straight, I want gay, I want that gay up in my face. Let's get so gay, and I love gays in my face.
Hello everybody. It's been a while. God, I've missed all of you. Doing a lot of traveling, meeting people from all over and finally home to the JCS army. Wow, wrestling is seriously messed up and glad Punk is back. So far it's all good.
Hell yeah, Black Lab, it's good to have you back, you son of a bitch.
What's up, Black Lab? Black Lab! Man, Black Lab, it's great to have you back, man. I think it's been a fun time here for wrestling recently, especially with what AEW's done. Messed up and glad Punk is back. So far, so good. Dude, Black Lab, holy shit, man. I'm marking out for him showing up again tonight. So happy to have you back, man. Doing a lot of traveling, meeting people all over. That sounds fun as hell. Black Lab with the $69 bomb is going to take out D. Welsh. Man, someday I'll travel again, or someday we'll get to vacation again, you know. Thank you, man. I'm so busy. We've been so busy with the kids this week. With you need this and masks and classroom stuff and get to school in the morning, this bus stop, different thing, doctor appointment things and all kinds of shit. It's just crazy. Black Lab, $69, man. You are the top dog, sir. Shit bomb. You become it's Botch Club. Shit bomb.
Here's 9.99 to share my last 4 posts on Instagram to the Joe Cronin Nation.
Let's go.
Trust me, Joe, share these now. Jake, Big Daddy Cool, DeMarco, what's good, my dude?
Big Daddy Cool. Let's go over and check out the Botch Club on Instagram. Let's see what he's got to offer. Thanks to Joe Bishop last night for the 333, Shardy Janetti for the 5, and D-Moon with the $5 the other night as well. Thank you, D-Moon. Botch Club is up in here. Ooh, look at this one. Is this Botch Club at AEW? What do you... Well, oh, shit. Look at this, Botch Club. I actually can't show these Botch Club, to be honest.
Unfortunately not.
Yeah, they snipe people, dude. Like you can't do it.
Like the Raw review.
Yeah, the Raw review is down. And I showed nothing really. But this is Botch Club. If you want to find out what he's showing here, you got to go check him out on Instagram. I can't wait to see what that is. There's a brand new post on Botch Club right now. Go check that out. Dude, these are hilarious. They're up every day on Botch Club. Every day he's got tons of shit.
There's so many actual active and legend wrestlers.
Yeah,
that,
go watch Botch Club.
Follow and go ahead and retweet the content and share it on Instagram. It's crazy.
Go give Botch Club some love. Follow him. Hit the like button. You'll see a bunch of JCS people over there and a shitload of other people. Dude's got 31,000 followers. He's got more active followers than I do. 88% or something of his people are following him. My followers are dead. I've got like 4,000. So go check it out. Give him some love. And Botch Club, thank you, my man. I wish I could play it, but I will get fucked. Potentially. Sometimes no, but it's 50-50 and I'm not risking it. So I love you, though. But also, shout out to Broken Lion. not Black Lab, but Broken Line for becoming a $5 patron. He's back. Shout out to him.
Hell yeah.
And to John Sturmos. Not Stamos, not Sterling. Sturmos on Patreon.
I got thermos.
Sturmos. You want to see my sturm? I'll stir my dick up.
You know what I don't want to see? Play after the donation.
Oh! Go see Shanghai Chi. It's lit. No, we don't see China movies here anymore.
Joe Cronin, what's up?
So?
I just got home from seeing new Marvel movie, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I highly recommend that you see this movie. Maybe over Labor Day weekend you could go with the family. I swear it is one of the better Marvel movies.
What movie? Gucci and the Legend of the Ring? I didn't hear which one he was talking about. Sounds good, though.
Whoa, okay.
I'm not crazy about the Marvel movies, but...
Shit bomb!
You become a shit bomb.
I can't do Marvel anymore.
AU. Needs
Burnt
better
out.
QC. R.I.P Daffney.
AEW needs better
Quality control.
Oh,
yeah.
QC.
I'm thinking,
Jim S. Thank you.
Quality control. Thank you, Jim. Yeah, I agree. You know, that's one of the things, because I don't know why you would have the Lucha Bros lose, and then some of the other things there. You know, just little things, but it makes a difference.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
It works
What
against
number
them.
is better than
They could hire me,
69?
we-
It's 88 cause
Again,
she
hire
gets sent
Jake.
twice. Hell smells like semen and cigarettes.
what number is better than
Oh.
69? Oh, that's just terrible. Jesus. CM Punk is breaking news. He's got COVID, guys.
Could you imagine?
I know. I'm telling you. It would have been worse if it ruined his debut. It's not as bad with...
The first match.
yeah, that's not good either, but, you know, they could...
Yeah, I think the debut is worse. Yeah, that makes
They just put a
sense. 'Cause at least then
hologram.
they could say, like, oh, we will have the match soon, but...
Imagine they put
now
a
at least you know it's
hologram of him.
coming.
They put a hologram
Yeah, that
of
would...
him.
Punk
And he-
versus Tupac, the hologram.
And he really speaks like it's really him speaking. Shit bomb! They could do that.
Yeah, just live
You
from Zoom.
become a shit bomb.
Hey guys, when is AEW video game coming out? Heart.
There's no release date yet,
I'm-
J-Rod.
I'm betting next Christmas or summer.
Yeah, we're hearing next year is where they're aiming for. Summertime or early fall was last we had talked about.
Adam Shear, Braun Strowman is certainly coming. I mean, he just filmed with EC3. EC3
Shit
has
bomb.
a big thing coming
I
up with
blame
them.
David Flair and Crowbar for this.
Oh, I think he's probably, it's not his fault. Come on. He's okay. Braun Strowman is busy staring at, yeah. Oh, God.
Every time you bring up that photo, my ass clenches.
I'm sorry. She's too much. I gotta get her off the screen.
No, put it back.
There's not many people that I like this. I don't know, man. I don't think I could breathe if I was in front of her.
Yeah, that's one of those where you last 6 seconds, and 5 of which is you crying and apologizing.
What the hell?
I'm so sorry. It doesn't usually happen like this.
It doesn't usually happen.
It's too hot.
You wanna fucking go? I'll fucking kill Sean Ross Sapp. I'll kill him.
Hey, this is off topic, but it is important. Texas passed an extreme anti-abortion law this week. They banned women from abortions if they are over 1 month into pregnancy. Also, they're offering $10,000 to anyone who snitches on a doctor who gives abortion.
Yeah, they're really trying to crack down on this for... I don't know what the reason
Why don't you
is,
move
though.
to New York where you can kill as many kids as you want? Just move to New York. Or you can just drop
But what's
8
being
kids.
solved by this, or what's being, like...
I don't know, man. It's weird. The extreme... I never understand the extreme sides of either political spectrum. You know, the people that say, you can't get these, and the other people that say, well, you can have 1 million of them. Like, I don't understand either side. Like, but that's probably Parker trolling us, though.
Very well could be, so...
So good
next
luck.
match we have, as I said, that I'm not looking forward to, unfortunately. I don't think you are either. Paul White versus QT Marshall with Solo Kamaroto. Paul White, I'm going with him winning here. Well, he wins here because he's the big guy.
Yeah. Big guys winning.
They're not going to have Big Show lose his first match, but I don't give two shits with him facing QT Marshall.
And we're never going to know why Billy Gunn ever also attacked him. I guess. Or maybe the chair shot will play into the match with QT Marshall to where he has a bad hip or a bad wheel in the match, which allows QT to win. But still, why didn't QT hit him with the chair then?
Yeah, I don't know.
Now, if something major happens that makes this all make sense, I will apologize. But at this point, I don't understand. I'll just go with Paul White win. Well, dunk, 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 dunk. They should have made it almost identical to the last song. That'd have been funny.
It's close enough.
Well, he's the big Paul White.
Yeah, like they, like really close to the Big Show song.
It's pretty damn close already. So,
oh man, like,
same singer, like you said.
Yeah, like
So,
this really.
Big Joe's
like,
doing it. Or just Joe, whatever it was.
Down, like some, I don't know, I guess.
So we picked different people for the Women's Casino Royal, but we both said Jon Moxley, Paul White, and Chris Jericho. Then we have Miro and Eddie Kingston. I think Eddie's going to be rewarded for his service here, and he's going to go ahead and finally win the title. I think he might be beating Miro. I think they're going to do it to pop the crowd, and him and Miro can have a good back and forth.
Wow. Oh.
Because what other title changes they're going to be? I really don't foresee any other title changes happening. So,
You know, I don't think I love Eddie Kingston. I don't think so. I think Miro's going to retain here. Yeah, I think Miro's going to retain. But that'd be cool. I don't know, I'd be kind of happy. It just feels like Miro's on a run with this thing that he's not done
he
with.
is on a run. I don't disagree there, and I could see him retaining. I know they want to keep building him up, but Eddie's put in so much work, and how many times can he lose before he's permanently just the guy that is used to put everyone over?
I definitely agree that this guy needs to win some matches here.
Eddie's really on the cusp of being useless. He's been a badass, but everything good he's done has been defeat. His debut against Cody, awesome match. He lost. Him and Moxley going against the Young Bucks was a damn good match. He's taken a mouthful of thumbtacks. That was a great spot, but they lost. And they lose, and they lose, and they lose, and they lose. And how are we supposed to, support Eddie when he just cowers in fear and passes out, even though the fireworks don't go off for the ring? And he's got a lot going against him.
Unfortunately, Eddie was so good when he was a heel. I think this face turn has really neutered him. I think when you see what
he was
a
better
lovable...
on the mic as a heel. He could cut people down to size. He just needed not to work with the Butcher, the Blade, and the Bunny and the Lucha. He needed just to be on his own.
Right. Exactly. Like, he needs to be killing
He needed
it.
to be like a Miro. Yes.
You know what I'm going to do to you? Like, I want to see fucking him telling people he's going to do things and hurt people. But it's just...
but as his, I don't want to say like hood character, but that streetwise, he's not book smart, but he's got enough real life smarts that he's able to do it. So
right.
And I know Alex makes a great point. Well, he's only been Moxley's sidekick, but he has a great relationship with the fans, and that's the thing. It would be kind of a make the crowd happy moment, I think, if they do this kind of a surprise. Because going into the next match, I mean, you're picking Miro, I got Eddie. I don't necessarily think Eddie's going to win, but I want him to enough that I'm picking him. Now we have the Young Bucks against the Lucha Brothers. Steel cage to keep out interference. I think we're still going to see interference. I think that's actually going to lead to some type of cage with a ceiling on it. I honestly think you're going to be right.
Oh, my God. And Hell in a Cage or whatever?
The Cell in a Hell or whatever.
Let's go.
The Cell from Hell or whatever it was, yeah. I do think there's going to be some type of interference. I don't think the Lucha Brothers are going to be tag champs. If anybody was going to take the belts at this point, it really felt like probably Moxley and Eddie would have been a good choice, or Jurassic Express, because Jungle Boy's white hot still. I don't see the Lucha Brothers being the best ones to take the titles off the Young Bucks. Alex Abrahantes was just working as their translator because, Penta was a heel saying all these things and Alex was tearing people apart.
But when they've been faced recently, he's still doing the whole Penta says.
Yeah, so it's... I know they don't have straight up allegiances or heels and faces, but it's just very odd.
Let's
As
try to
the Young
remember.
Bucks are cunty heels. These guys are more badass heels, but they're still heels.
I'm trying to remember how many times these teams have exchanged, because, let's remember the Lucha Bros were like they were the rivalry with the Young Bucks 3 years ago. Like those matches for the AAA tag team titles and the Ring of Honor tag belts, they fucking had some fucking awesome matches.
That ladder match, they had it all out. The Young Bucks said they'd never do anything like that ever again because of that match being so crazy. And the steel cage they have is so high up. Remember Cody, when he took on Wardlow, he almost broke his leg?
Yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't go with a smaller cage so you could do
I
crazy
don't know
stuff
why either. That is
of it.
so high. That is ridiculously high.
Yeah, it's like on a smaller one, you're right away, me and you'd think, wow, they're going to be able to do all kinds of crazy stuff off the top of the cage. But looking at this, you're like, I hope they don't even do anything off the top of this. That's not good. Like, this is dangerous. Like, I'm serious looking at that cage. Like, they're going to do something. They probably are. Why would they, though? See, to me, the big cage tells me they're not doing anything. That's what I think when I see that cage. I think, okay, they're not doing anything where they climb the cage.
The most I could picture is some type of catch stunt, like a crossbody or a back somersault, something where they get everybody.
Right, and I wouldn't...
Cage match says last time Lucha Bros and Young Bucks went one-on-one was 2 years ago at All Out in their ladder match. Yeah, that was the one that I was bringing it up. So
right, but they had such a great, back and forth for a long time, and so here we are again, I guess. But does that mean... I don't know. I really don't know. This one's tough. I feel like the build isn't big enough for the belts to come off. So I'm going to say that the Young Bucks retain as well, because Kenny's still going to be the champion. Let's say the Bucks retain. Again, like you said, there's going to be a lot of retainment here tonight.
Yeah, so that's why I was kind of hoping we'd see Eddie take it, because I don't see the next match having a title change either, and that's Britt Baker taking on Chris Statlander. Even though Statlander had the number one contendership before she got injured, she came back. Since she's come back, she's been another one that hasn't been... at least Eddie Kingston's been the sidekick, but in main event moments and matches, Statlander's basically done fuck all. Really, sadly.
Yeah, this is her. Listen, have a good match. I'll be so happy.
I hope it's a good match, because Statlander usually can go. She doesn't disappoint. Brit is damn excellent. So I imagine in Chicago the crowd will be behind Brit more so than Statlander, and I hope Alien Girl and the dentist put on a hell of a clinic. Let's hope this is a great match, but I think Brit retains.
Yeah, Brit retains, and let's hope it's a 7 or 8 out of 10 match. I'll take a 7, at this point.
Yeah, I'm happy with the 7 as well. And then we have our co-main event. And I will say, in defense of Brit, there's been times where, like her and Thunder Rosa, her and a few others, where we're like, it'll be good, and then they end up knocking it out of the park, like, completely. So,
well, her and Thunder Rosa should knock it out of the park. But you remember they had a match where it was like a 7 out of 10 or a 6 out of 10, and we sat here and we said, like, man, these two can have a better match than this, I would think. And and then like 4 to 6 weeks later, they had that match on Dynamite that was like one of the women's match of the year.
Wasn't it like the St. Patrick's Day one or something?
It was something like that, the bloody one. Dude, I got to go watch that again. That match was
I
great.
rewatched it a couple weeks back, and it's great. Holds up wonderful.
Yeah, so they had a 7, or 6-5 and a 7, and then they had that match, which was like an 8-5, if not a 9 for a hardcore women's match.
Absolutely. And now we go ahead and, having this match, I'm happy that it's there, because we're having her Brit Stooges face Statlander in a handicap match on Friday's Rampage. So that'll be decent to see what happens, but it's not. It's very obvious. I feel like there's not a lot of potential for a title change here. Sadly,
Right. Yeah, this is it. Christian Cage will get probably Kenny.
Christian Cage and Kenny Omega.
Obviously, Kenny. It's got to be Kenny.
Yeah, Kenny has to retain. Christian's not the guy to take the title, and they've done a lot to make it feel like, oh, he could take the title. If he didn't take the Impact title, I really would like that was good, and I was like, wow, now he's got a chance. But everything they've done after that, just kind of beating his ass over and over. And then really, Christian is I know he is Impact champion now, but his focus is split because of that. So he's going after Kenny, but then he's also on Impact saying he's going to defend that title.
Yeah.
So he's got double the workload, and he's also older, so kind of takes away from him in that, kayfabe aspect. I don't know if it'll play into the match at all, but I do see Kenny retaining no matter what. I think the Elite is going to stay strong for a little bit longer, but for me, they really are at that go-home heat level, so something's got to change pretty quick.
Right. Yeah, I hope it's good. I hope
so.
I mean,
then we have our co-main event is CM Punk and Darby Allin, Joe.
I think that Kenny Omega's match, a good way to look at this at WrestleMania is Macho Man and Kenny Omega, or Macho Man and Ric Flair at WrestleMania 8. They weren't the main event. They were the middle of the card, and they had one of the best intense matches. I look to recreate that sort of thing. You know, Kenny Omega's got all these people like Don Callis in his corner, like Ric Flair had Mr. Perfect. So, you'd want to be number 1 or 2 on the night. I think Bret Hart and Roddy Piper was the other match at Mania 8. So I'd be looking to recreate something like that. So there's a potential for this pay-per-view to be really good. If 2 or 3 matches can be really good, and then the moment with Punk, I mean, you could have potential for something good. But anyway, yeah, we're moving on to Punk. And
well, you remember how good the Undertaker and Punk match was at Mania?
It was all right.
I thought it was really good. I went back and rewatched it not that long ago, a couple weeks back, and it's better than what I recalled it as.
It's better than Roman and Undertaker, I'll tell you that.
Absolutely. And I like the story they told. I like Heyman's involvement. I thought it was, so...
But the reason why it felt not as good is because we had just come off of Undertaker, HBK 2-2, and then Triple H twice, and now he's got Punk.
Yeah, and one of which was a Hell in a Cell.
Right, and I think that the Punk match was better than the one Triple H match, but I think
the first Triple H match was better than.
But, I think the other Triple H maybe, and then the 2 other HBKs were better, but the story was really good.
It was, and it had a few moments where I'm like, well, maybe he could take the streak. So.
By the way, how funny is it the WWE was like, oh, you're going to get eliminated, and you have to face, like, Daniel Bryan faces Triple H, and then the world title thing, and then you're going to wrestle Kane at WrestleMania. Or, no, I guess Punk was going to wrestle Triple H at WrestleMania.
He was going to wrestle Triple H, yeah.
Yeah, and Punk was like...
And he's like, I don't need to wrestle Triple H. Triple H needs to wrestle me. That's not an event that I feel I'm worthy of.
By the way, I do think that in some ways Punk had that a little bit off. Like, I agree with him that...
Well, at that point, think of how Triple H was being used. He was the authority figurehead, and it didn't fit into any of Punk's storylines. So it was just being shoehorned in. And Punk leaving is what opened up the room for Daniel Bryan to face Triple H at Mania,
right?
To then go on and face Orton and Batista to have that huge moment. So if Punk didn't leave, he would have likely faced Triple H, and Daniel Bryan would have never had that moment. And the main event would have just been
they probably
Orton and Batista.
Well, no, I don't believe that. I think they would have just put Daniel Bryan in the main event. Or they would have done something else. Or he would have faced somebody else.
It was said for a while that, it seemingly was that if Punk didn't leave, the plans wouldn't have changed.
But I don't know why they changed them just because...
There was this vacuum, and they were down a huge star.
But they could have just said, okay, Triple H is the one who screwed Daniel Bryan, so he couldn't be in the Rumble or go to WrestleMania. So they would have just had DB versus Triple H. But they didn't do that. They decided to put him in the main event, so I don't think that had to do with Punk.
Yeah, well, the stipulation because of the fan reaction and outpouring.
Well, but I mean, like, I don't think it had anything to do with Punk. I think it helped Daniel Bryan get cheered, but I don't think... Because if Punk left...
It's already been said, though, that the storyline happened more so, and it opened up the ability for it to happen because Punk left. The vacuum of them, because they didn't want to do the thing with Daniel Bryan. The main event was just going to be Orton and Batista, and they already had the fans pissed off at the Rumble that Punk that Daniel Bryan wasn't in the Rumble at
Yeah,
that
but
point.
I don't get it because nothing changes, though. The only thing that changes is Daniel Bryan faces Triple H.
Yeah, and because of the way the fans hijacked the show so many times for Daniel Bryan, which led to the Occupy Yes movement.
But that's
and
what I
all
mean,
the-
like,
they went with it. But
they would have
the
done that if
fan
CM Punk was in
outpouring
the
and
company.
them not having another big face to replace Punk with forced them to go with Daniel Bryan.
But I think they would have gone with Daniel Bryan then anyway, even if Punk was in the company, because then it would have been Punk.
They said they weren't. I mean, that was
well, they
widely
weren't,
reported
but then
at that
they
time, so.
they weren't. But I don't think they didn't say it's because of Punk. I think they right.
Well,
I mean, like
him leaving was what gave Daniel Bryan the position to have that Mania match, and that's what led to him being in the main event.
But no, I don't think Punk had a side story going on. Like, I don't think that led Punk leaving didn't give Daniel Bryan the window to be. He was already in.
Yeah, because he wouldn't have been able to face Triple H. Punk wasn't going to have that match.
But then
Daniel Bryan, excuse me, Daniel Bryan wasn't going to face Triple H. So.
Well, but then he would have faced Kane probably to go to the main event.
He wouldn't have gone to the main event, is what I'm telling you. That they made that clear.
They did change their minds and put him in the main event, but that had nothing to do with CM Punk.
It did, because they said back then they went ahead and had it because they didn't have a top face anymore.
But they didn't have a top. But I don't understand. Like because
they thought Batista was going to be cheered. They thought Batista was going to be a face.
Well, no, I agree with that. But to me, it has nothing to do with
was
CM
still
Punk.
Going to be their top merch.
Yeah, the reason
sales guy.
The reason they put Daniel Bryan in the main event is because Dave Batista sucks, Randy Orton sucks, and they put Daniel Bryan in the main event. But that has nothing to do to me with with CM Punk.
But they said the only reason they pushed Daniel Bryan is because they needed another guy. They needed someone to replace the star power of him leaving at that point. Cena was busy already in other storylines, and they needed, and the fan support kind of matched. So
Right. Okay. I guess I'll never believe that. But that's
it was widely reported, documented, and covered. So
I mean, I see the documentation and covering of Daniel Bryan being put in the main event because the fans wanted it, but I don't understand the.
Well, agree to disagree. I'll argue with it another time. But CM Punk, Darby
No,
Allin.
I mean, like, I agree if they said that.
I can show it in front of you. I don't think you're going to listen to me anyway. So.
No, if they said that, then I guess I agree. I'm not denying that if they said that, that's true then. I just can't believe that, like, why the fuck would you not, like, I don't get it, is what I'm saying. Like, it may be true. I'm just saying I don't get it. Like, I don't get why the fuck they wouldn't be like, oh, you know, okay, well, CM Punk's here. Cool. CM Punk versus Triple H. What was Daniel Bryan going to do then? The most over guy in the entire company at the time, the most over guy in the right. I think they're lying, is what I'm saying. I think that's bullshit. The most over guy, everybody. They were gonna just put Daniel Bryan in where?
He was gonna face Sheamus again. That was their original story.
Yeah, I remember that. That's right. Yeah.
And then Randy and Batista were gonna be the main event. The crowd turned on Batista when he won because they demanded Daniel be in the main event. But with Punk said on the Colt Cabana podcast and the way it was confirmed in that time frame as well, was that he was strictly a replacement. They had to shuffle the Mania card to find a replacement for Triple H and Punk. And because of the whole crowd hating Batista, because he's not Daniel Bryan, the answer for both problems was Daniel Bryan.
So
they said
was Sheamus a champion?
He replaced. I don't recall. I don't think so. Because Daniel Bryan had both belts at the end of the night.
Yes, I understand, guys. I understand that Batista was going to wrestle Randy Orton. That doesn't matter with Punk. Fuck that. I don't care.
Yeah.
We already know that. Batista, Randy Orton. I already know that. We all know
the company hated Bryan.
Remember Royal Rumble? No Daniel Bryan. We booed Rey Mysterio. Like, that was at the Rumble. Like, they
had no plans for Daniel Bryan going into Mania.
They were going to, so he was going to wrestle Sheamus.
He was not going to be in the main event. It was either Sheamus or Kane. He was not going to be. But they said Punk leaving was the drastic hole left, and they panicked because it's not like he said, "I'll be back in 6 months." He just left. He said, "I hate this. If I stay here, I'm going to die. I need to go home and get healthy."
It's crazy. They are fucking retards. So everyone's
Absolutely.
telling me. You guys are telling me that they moved Daniel Bryan into the main event, not because Randy Orton and Batista sucked, but because CM Punk left. They moved Daniel Bryan into the main event where we thought he should be for like 7 months, and including Royal Rumble. They only moved Daniel Bryan into the main event because CM Punk left. If that's true, they are the biggest retard idiots in the world. Literally, we just booed at the Royal Rumble. The whole crowd booed. The Yes movement was insane, and they were going to put him with Sheamus. I just don't buy. They can't be this retarded. And CM Punk goes,
They did not like Daniel Bryan.
You wanted me to wrestle Triple H, so I'm leaving. So now Daniel Bryan gets to wrestle everybody. See, I believe that the WWE, that at some point they would have been like, even if CM Punk stayed, I believe that they would have said, okay, Daniel Bryan's going in the main event. Like, I still think, in my opinion, they can't be this retarded. Or maybe they are, though.
The WrestleMania card that CM Punk posted from the night of the 20th of 2014, CM Punk put it on his Instagram 2 years ago. It was Big Show versus Kane, Roman Reigns versus Dean Ambrose for the U.S. title, Daniel Bryan versus Sheamus, John Cena versus Bray Wyatt with the Wyatts, Undertaker and Lesnar, and CM Punk versus Triple H in the co-main event, and the main event would have been Batista versus Randy.
How crazy is it that Daniel Bryan was the most over person in the entire company?
I know.
And they gave Triple H to Punk. So
they were done with him as soon as they did the Randy Orton cash-in. That's all they wanted was Randy, you're so evil, and now Batista is going to vanquish you, and Batista, the Hollywood star, is back. He's so great and cool. And because of CM Punk leaving, we also got Evolution as well, because it screwed their plans with Batista after the Rumble, or after WrestleMania, excuse me.
This company is retarded. Vince McMahon is a fucking idiot asshole. This company is an asshole. Stephanie McMahon likes pussy. Vince McMahon likes fucking hobgoblin midgets. And Linda McMahon cheats on Vince with Donald Trump. I said it. Are you serious?
I forgot about that. 2 years ago, Punk, it was on IGN.
I'm going to snap.
It was January 4th, 2020. Punk said, I forgot, I found this. And he posted the original lineup for the Rumble and for WrestleMania.
How could they not have...
I don't know what it was, but they did not believe in Daniel Bryan. They didn't think he had star power. They thought with all those the B+ player comments were real. What they said about him and back. Those were legitimate sentiments, and that's why Daniel used that to motivate himself, because it made him so angry.
See, I always believed back then that this was all a setup, and they were like, and I understand the whole, Batista, they really thought Batista was going to be like The Rock or something, but I always thought, this is some kind of, they're fucking with us. They're trying to pretend they're trying to get us to love him more by, pushing him away from us. They know what they're doing. And then it was nope.
I couldn't believe it either for years, but I read very much so into it, and all the stuff Punk posted, and a lot of it came out during the trial as well, because they had to show Punk's sicknesses, how he got fired, when he got terminated, the planning. They had to validate all of his criticisms on the podcast. So him complaining about main events of Mania, they had to go over Mania plans, his cyst, his staph infection, so on and so forth. So
yeah,
a lot of that confirmed what he said on the podcast as well, because WWE had to agree with it. And then we had other stars chime in since, like Daniel Bryan and a few others.
I remember being so angry at that Rumble, dude. I remember thinking dude, Bryan didn't even come out here.
I remember watching you explode that night.
I almost fucking got deleted from YouTube that night. I almost lost.
I thought you were going to have an aneurysm.
Leah thought I was going to die. I was fucking fire furious. I was like, you said, because
he was the most white hot babyface ever. Everybody loved him. I still don't even understand how he entranced the audience. He bewitched everyone to fall in love with him. I know he's an amazing wrestler. I liked him in Ring of Honor, the American Dragon. But for him to be that over, I was shocked personally. Yeah. It was the right time, the right environment. The way they did it with him and Cena put him over big, and then people felt like that moment was squandered because Randy Orton took the belt and cashed in. So they always wanted to see him get his retribution. So that was 7 months.
That's
in the
where
making.
I was giving him that credit of they know what they're doing. Oh my God, they gave him this moment. Cena put him over, and then they took it right away to build to WrestleMania because, dude, to me, it felt like they knew that. It felt like it. And plus, think about it. Like Triple H and Randy did this to Daniel. So it always felt like this is so logical. And even if, like you just said, like Triple H, we know Triple H was the story for Punk. But in the end, what they really did ended up, even if it was by accident, was beautiful. Because although I wish it was a one-on-one match with Daniel at WrestleMania, but the fact that Triple H screwed Bryan to begin with for Randy, and then it ended up he doesn't go into the Rumble. He's not in the Rumble because WWE didn't put him in the Rumble. Like, that is so insane. He was super over every second. Like, there's no way you wouldn't think we're not putting Daniel Bryan in the Rumble.
Yeah, number 30 comes, and everyone's like, oh, here he comes. Here's Daniel Bryan. Oh, it's Mysterio.
Right.
And look at the next year.
And he lost
As
earlier
soon as
because he
Daniel
lost to Bryan. He lost to
got
Wyatt.
eliminated. Yeah. When he got eliminated, who came out next? Goldust. And they played the Shattered Dreams. And it wasn't a coincidence. They did that intentionally. So that always made me chuckle. They just didn't see Daniel Bryan as a star. I don't know how or why, but that was their prerogative.
They didn't see him. They just didn't want it because they're retarded. Because like he was a star, so it's like they're so stupid. But this company is retarded, and that's all there is.
That's a better
to
way
it.
of putting it. They refused to acknowledge his stardom.
Or they
Absolutely.
did acknowledge it, but they wanted to. They were like, okay, there's your thing. All right, back to what we want to do. Like
that's the thing. He got over on his own. He was another one. The Yes Movement and his charisma with Kane and the stuff they did. It got him over.
They thought, okay, it's that big. We'll put it on the main event for a second, and then you'll be perfect to cruise on the middle card now because you've got this big gimmick thing. You can always run with this. Yay. And maybe they were scared of it because, like, what chance? So now they're like, oh, no, the Yes thing. Like, oh, no, Vince hates that. Vince hates those one-off chants. I don't know, man.
And on top of it, Daniel Bryan was not that prototypical look of a John Cena. They called him a goat. They called, those sentiments were real as well, sadly.
Yeah, he did look like a midget goat.
He didn't have that star look. They liked him as IC and then the big gold belt champ, for the secondary title, but they didn't want him as the main title holder. They even had a hard time with Punk being too small, remember?
Well, I think that Punk is weird. He's like a tiny little thing looking. Like, he doesn't look like a wrestler.
Yeah, he does have a lean shape to him, that's for sure.
He looks like a guitar player or something. Like, so I get that, but it doesn't matter to me. Anybody
and
can
Darby
be a star.
Allin's even smaller, so that's why I'm saying Punk's going to look ginormous when it comes to Sunday. Yeah. I think back to the predictions, Punk has to win.
Yeah.
Huge tangent there, but definitely worth going over. I mean, how WWE again lacked the foresight to bring in Daniel Bryan, the main event of WrestleMania, baffles me. But Punk leaving certainly opened up that door for them to not be idiots anymore.
Well, let's hear from you guys with the donos.
Yeah, I think Punk has to win his first match back. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, going Punk 100%. Or he'll be spoiled by somebody. I mean, I don't know. Something weird could happen. That'd be really bad, though. I don't think they would do that. Matt Mason, thanks for subbing. What's up? Hit that like button. All Out. We're going to be live after All Out this weekend, Sunday night, right here on the Joe Cronin Show.
Duncachino?
Alex
Don't
Oli.
mind if I do. What's my name? Duncachino.
Oh, that was fun. Fighting about Daniel Bryan from like 7 years ago. Like, I love it. Let's go.
I honestly think Jericho does leave AEW and go back to WWE. I think in his older age he views wrestling as a business. Imagine he beats Roman.
Listen, Jericho views everything as a business, but also has fun doing things. So I don't know, man. I just think that shit. I mean, WWE, I bet, is in his ear because after they got Brock, they got Rock. Now they want Jericho. Jericho's contract is up around that time. Maybe, but forever on commentary. I mean, that's. What up, Jeffrey? Let's get weird, Jeffrey Hall. Thanks for your $10, Jeffrey Hall. Oh, yeah. Stuff it in me. Stuff it up in me. I don't know why I'm doing that, but thank you for $10, Jeffrey, man. Thank you for keeping the love alive on the show. We're going pretty late here. We're going to be wrapping it up soon. We got that was our last prediction. We're both going Punk. I mean, no surprise there.
Yeah, no surprise there, but we do have a few differences in opinions, so we'll see what happens and see if Eddie or Miro who wins there and
And
as far as the women's casino battle royal goes,
I could see Christian beating Miro for that belt at some point. Jeffrey,
I could too.
I just if Eddie wins, I will be pumped up. I will be like, hell yeah.
He's earned it. He needs to have something, I think.
I like Miro too, though, man. He's been funny as fuck. I love his promos. God's favorite champion or whatever. That shit's funny.
From the goons.
Thank you for this show. It does a lot for my mental health in masculinity.
Yeah.
And I enjoy the wrestling content.
Thank you, Jeffrey Hall. I'm not sure what we're doing for your masculinity, but
yeah,
I don't know. It's something.
Liv Morgan and Lana put up a hell of a kiss bikini photo on Instagram, so that'll help your masculinity.
Oh, really? Oh, great. No, let's go look. No, I'm just not. Oh, let's go look at him. Let's go look
Something
at that.
you got to peer at. Saw that on Twitter. Ric Flair says that he's teasing. You got Arn Anderson. You got Tully Blanchard.
Yep.
Barry
Horseman.
Windham is sitting about a mile from there, and J.J. Dillon. You can fly him in. You got to do a half-hour interview with Tony Schiavone and Jim Ross, and we got
What's
4
my name?
horsemen.
Duncachino. It's a whole new
Can happen.
Duncachino. You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend. Say hello to my
Chocolate blend.
Wow, Punk will win with a boring GTS over Darby. The crowd cheers for 10 seconds. What a main event, lol.
Wouldn't it be great if he goes for the coffin drop and Punk catches him and then GTS's him? I don't know.
Yeah, do something. I'm sure these two,
Thank
for
you,
his
Todd.
first match back, they've been rehearsing. I guarantee, or at least not rehearsing, but Punk's been, wrestling again in the back. He's been having full-on matches. So,
Are you worried at all that they could do something like Kenny Omega's crew interferes and then like Christian comes down and now it's like 5-on-3 or whatever that is, and they're beating the shit out of Punk and Darby and they ruin the main event, and Kenny's like, I should have been the goddamn main event and everything. And that's when like Daniel Bryan debuts and runs out there, and then we get like a 4-man
really hope
tag
that's
team.
not the case.
Because like I'm wondering if
I hope that's not the case, but I think Punk's going to go over clean here. I think Punk's going to just have a straight up victory, but Darby's going to look great.
Yeah.
He's going to almost get Punk a few times, and Punk is, I think, one of them's going to be bloody.
Oh.
I'm guessing we're going to see somebody blading, or there's going to be a little bit of blood here.
I want to see Darby put a steel chair in between they could be DQ'd, right?
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I think we're going to see some type of into the post, or Darby roughs himself up, flying to the outside.
Yeah. I think that'd be awesome. I think Punk needs to get fucked up too. I mean, look at the last time in the UFC, he got pummeled looking. So hopefully, to put over, it's gonna have to they're gonna have to both get bloody, like you said.
Yeah, could
Probably
happen.
not, though.
I don't know, but 7 years since his last match, this is going to have to be a stellar match. There's severely high expectations to someone that was called the best wrestler in the world for many years.
I never viewed Punk as a great wrestler. I view him as a great entertainer. Like he entertains me a lot, which is great. But has he been the best wrestler? What matches?
I thought he was really entertaining in the ring. I really, like his classics in Ring of Honor, especially against Samoa Joe.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. Like when he was younger and he could move.
Their trio of matches were really good, and I even liked him in a lot of the WWE stuff with ECW starting, and then him going up, being the Straight Edge Society, having the gold belt for a bit.
Yeah, you just named
I
a
liked
bunch of
lot
stuff. You just named a bunch of entertaining stuff. I'm talking about matches though. Like, what is he really like? What?
Well, he
matches?
had great matches with Jeff Hardy, with The Undertaker, with.
I think the Undertaker one
John
is
Cena.
pretty good, but
John Cena one was great at Money in the Bank. He's had some really damn good matches over the years. So,
nowhere near anybody that I think of. Like I don't think of Punk in like HBK, Shawn Michaels, The Rock, even The Rock. He's like The Rock to me. The Rock didn't really have great matches. The Rock just had great rivalries and moments, and then he went out there, and you'll never forget the match because of the build-up and the story and what it was. But, like, really, The Rock, was... And I actually like The Rock in the ring better.
See, I think Punk is better in the ring, but obviously The Rock has a bit more.
I think The
mic
Rock's
power and charisma, but they're both damn good. So
The Rock has more energy in the ring, and so like I think I side with The Rock, but I do think both are similar. They have like 7 moves that they do. That's really it. You know, like DDT, suplex.
I think Punk had a wider array, but towards the
in
last,
Ring of Honor,
like,
he did.
Even in WWE for quite a while until the last like 16, 18 months. He got tired, he got hurt, he needed multiple surgeries, and he just kind of became the 5 moves of doom like Cena. You saw, you know, the running knee to the corner where he jumps up to the turnbuckle, and the bulldog, the Anaconda Vice, the GTS, and, you know, that was pretty much it. You didn't get much from him at that point.
I think CM Punk is a great like a great wrestler if you're like, because a wrestler is a storyteller and an entertainer and a person, whatever. So like CM Punk is at the top. He is like one of the biggest names, you know, top 50 in wrestling ever, like, or at least in our last 40 years that I can think of. But like CM Punk is not like, to me, it's like, well, who's better, The Rock or CM Punk? I go The Rock. Who's better, John Cena or CM Punk? I don't even like Cena, really, but I'd probably say Cena. Like, name the matches. Okay, Cena's had more matches, in my opinion. You know, AJ Styles. AJ Styles is better in the ring than CM Punk. But AJ Styles' storytelling in the WWE, not as good as CM Punk.
Yeah, I'd take Punk over AJ, personally.
So, wrestling?
Yeah, well, overall, total package.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I would see, if you could get AJ, if you could put CM Punk's mic attitude and make CM Punk, but AJ Styles is wrestling, you'd have an amazing, crazy wrestler.
Yeah, that'd be a top of everything.
So, like back in the day, I would rather watch AJ in overall. But now I'd probably rather watch Punk because Punk's entrance and his presence and his vibe is more important. AJ Styles is like a lost soul over in WWE. He can do a million Pele kicks and whatever the fuck everywhere, and it doesn't matter where the shit. You know, so he sucks now. But in the ring as a wrestler, AJ Styles is better. But CM Punk is the bigger name, I think, or the more exciting character.
The more well-known, yeah.
Character is the word I'm looking for. But who's better than, like try to name who's better than Punk. RVD is better than CM Punk in the ring?
I wouldn't say RVD is better.
In the ring as a wrestler?
Yeah, I would go with Punk over RVD. I think Punk told better stories. RVD just had more spectacles.
Well, that's what I mean. I'm just going like physically in the ring.
RVD was just more brazen and crazy with athleticism to boot.
But
he was okay with killing himself and whatever else in the process.
Daniel,
he was ECW through and through.
So CM Punk is better than Daniel Bryan in the ring?
No.
So you think wait a minute, you think Daniel Bryan is better than RVD?
Yes. In the ring, absolutely.
And Daniel Bryan is better than Punk?
I would say in the ring, yeah. Daniel Bryan would be better than Punk.
You're going to give me a heart attack, Jake. I'm going to freak out.
Amazing technician, storyteller. Daniel Bryan has always had that built-in underdog, so he's easy to root for. And as a heel, he's always found a way to just be this sinister, evil, and over-empowering force, even though he's often smaller than who he's facing. So,
well, that's RVD's problem. RVD's problem is he has no real character. Like,
RVD was just very bland to me, and it was like, cool, you can do a bunch of flips and rolling thunder, or he's gonna jump off the top rope and all right, crowd. You know. But there was not much of a story told, and the promos were just like, yeah, I'm Rob Van Dam, and I'm high.
I agree with that, but the problem with me is that I just don't like. I wish that CM Punk was better in the ring, because I don't think there's much to him in the ring. But maybe, I mean, like, I just can't. It's like I can think of, and maybe it's just me remembering.
I think if you go back and rewatch,
I will go back.
I have recently. I think you'd be a bit more pleasantly surprised.
I will
with
go
some
back.
Things.
I just
you have to go a little bit further back than like 2012,
like 08,
even towards. Well, no, 2012, and then backwards is fine. 2013 when The Rock got involved, and then he got injured, and he left early 2014. That last 2 years was not a good time for him. From him shitting his pants on SmackDown against Ambrose onwards, he just was not having a good time.
I think that it's like I can name a lot of things with a lot of matches, like a match. I want to watch this match. I can name it with so many people. I can't do it with him really. I like a story though. I can with Punk. Like him and Jericho's story was fucking awesome. Like him and Jericho with the drinking, him and Jeff Hardy
match. Him and Jeff Hardy had great matches.
The Undertaker and CM Punk, like these stories and build-ups. CM Punk just being the champion for a year was entertaining. CM Punk doing all that stuff, entertaining, so entertaining. I have lots of memories.
The problem he had, though,
but what
honestly,
match? I can't think of a match I like.
Well, he didn't have a lot of opponents in WWE. That was his problem. Vince didn't have a lot of faith in him. And then when they did, think about the summer of Punk when he left with the WWE title after beating John Cena. And then he loses it to Del Rio, and then he's got to win it back. And then Kevin Nash is involved, and then Lesnar. And the Lesnar match was really good, I think, at SummerSlam, but I don't think Punk should have lost, granted. But there was so many layers to all these things. And so besides Lesnar and Cena, Punk didn't have anyone to face. They had to bring in Ryback. That was a disaster. Then they brought up the Shield just to make it interesting, and thankfully they saved some things. But there was no one for Punk to face that was worthwhile. Finally, you got Jericho, but
Sheamus.
After that, it was like, you went so long with nothing. They just didn't have opponents for him. And by the time that they could have had people for him to face, he faced The Undertaker, and then he was kind of just cast to the wayside after that. He was basically a face with the mutton chops, and he was so burnt out, he just wasn't trying. So
yeah. I always
up until that point. I mean, there's a lot of great matches, and
I think Sheamus is better in the ring. I'm serious.
Now that would cause me to have a stroke.
But I think that
I think you just have a recency bias, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Just because I did as well, and that's why I went back to rewatch things from, like I said, from ROH, ECW, and then WWE onwards. So
I loved him in ROH.
Yeah,
I love Punk in ROH.
That was great times there, and him and Cole as tag champs, the series with Samoa Joe, his run after he was already leaving as the champion. Signing his contract on the title, all the crap that he pulled off. I just, that's been a problem for a lot of people when they get the belt. Kofi Kingston has an amazing WrestleMania moment. Not a lot of people to face. AJ Styles, he gets one good opponent in Samoa Joe, and they ruin the storyline. Hey, Wendy, and then they trashed it with the rest of it. They had all disqualifications and countouts and no real fight between these two. It was very like a muddied, messy story. So time and time again, you get these people. They did it with The Fiend. They did it with Orton. They don't have people for them to face. Another great example, look at all the rematches we got with Drew McIntyre because he had no one to face for the year that he was champion. He beat Lesnar. He had this huge, gigantic moment. Oh, my God, that's massive. No crowd, but still, Daniel Bryan, oh my God, he's a heel champ. He's great. Seth Rollins vanquishes Lesnar. Then he's got no one to face. That's the problem. They don't have anyone. They spend all their time building up the one opponent to take down the champion, and then there's no one left for the champion to fight once they have the title.
Yeah, I think that he really did at the end get these shit people.
Yeah, the everybody by the wayside and all the mid cards.
I just felt like he couldn't. I feel like he had wasn't very agile. But you know what I noticed the other night on the AEW was
he couldn't go at that point either. He was very injured. So
he looked agile the other night when he delivered the GTS. He was very soft on his feet and body, which is good.
Yeah, he bounced kind of with the hit.
This is the lightest he's been since Ring of Honor. Like talking CM Punk up now. This is I think the lightest he's been since Ring of Honor. He is light, man. He is lean, which is going to help him agility-wise, I would think, as opposed to be as injured last year in WWE. So it will be interesting. He's 7 years older, though, but So it will be interesting to see how much he can bounce around out there.
It sucks to think that we lost, the real prime years, 35 to like 42-ish, that we could have been seeing probably some of his best matches.
Yeah.
Had he had the ability to deliver.
That's the thing, man. I don't,
Thankfully, he's not 60 coming back in. Oh, I've been out 18 years, 20 years, all this kind of, but.
What's he, 42?
Yeah, 42 now. So he's not that old by any means.
I just thought, at this time Shawn Michaels was on his comeback tour in 2003.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the Michaels that I actually prefer as far as match-wise goes. I know it's kind of a crazy thing, but his comeback was just so astonishingly amazing. And the way that he just took a new turn in wrestling and just, I don't want to say reinvented himself, because it wasn't a reinvention, but it was able to just totally bring himself back to relevancy. It was amazing what Shawn did. And then he had amazing match after amazing match after amazing match.
Yeah.
He didn't disappoint.
This guy doesn't have
Saudi.
He doesn't have bad match. Well, he had the best. He was great on Saudi. Like what the, like everybody else
he was
horrible.
The highlight. True.
He was the only one. It was like this guy doesn't miss a fucking beat. Like I can't believe, and wrestling kind of I'll be honest, wrestling kind of died for me when Shawn retired. That night he retired, I was like, it hasn't been the same since, because when Shawn was working then, I remember thinking one of the only things I like is watching Shawn Michaels matches. That's what I used to think at that time, and I said, man, if he retires, I feel like I've got nothing left. And that's exactly what happened. As soon as Shawn Michaels retired was about when I started going on rants and stuff. And because even if the stories weren't so good and the WWE was getting cheesy PG, at least I could watch a Shawn Michaels entrance and match, and I got excited about it. And then everything went to hell. But anyway, we're going to get the hell out of here. That's about it, man. Anything else, Jake, you wanted to say?
No, I mean, one of the things I want to talk to you about eventually, which will make a great topic, is, if you could choose one wrestler to add longevity to their career, who would it be and why? Or if you could replace one injured moment, a la Finn Balor at SummerSlam or Sid coming off the top rope, all these different things. What would you pick from and why? So there's a lot of options. So it'll definitely be something interesting for you and I to talk about.
Oh, man, I got the answer right now.
I could think of a few that would shine with you.
When are we going to say this? Because I got it in my head, right? You want me to tell you?
Yeah, I'd love to hear it.
It's Stone Cold.
Obviously, him, the broken neck, that's my number one. But
Shawn, listen, we got so much out of Shawn. I mean, I want Shawn to wrestle forever. That'd be my number two, maybe even number one.
Shawn went away for those 4 years, sobered up.
But we got that extra run of Shawn of 10, 12 years, whatever it was. But Stone Cold, we got robbed.
Yeah, because he was the rattlesnake from 98, and then mid-99, or early 99 after what? Mania, I think it was, or Backlash, he was gone.
Yeah, it was.
No, it was more so towards September, I believe, right?
It was mid-late 99s or mid.
Yeah,
mid-99s?
I think it was September time, and then he didn't come back for almost a year at that point.
Mid-late 2000, yeah. That was when he returned.
I think it was the
Disturbed.
September pay-per-view there, Unforgiven or whatever, and
then they turned.
I think
him
he finally
heel.
had a match, Survivor Series, something like that.
I feel like Austin should have been. We should have had Austin till WrestleMania 25.
At least, and not seeing him actually wrestle past 19 is heartbreaking.
Then again, it's lucky we even had him for what we did after what happened to him. But
yeah, with the way he broke his neck in the ring and having no feeling, that's certainly one that stands out. A lot of people say Owen Hart, obviously, with his death, but going just based off of strictly
Jesus,
just strictly injuries though.
Yeah, if I could bring Owen Hart back of all those things, that would be the thing.
That's a different term altogether. But like injuries, you think about Bret Hart being mule kicked and how that took him out with Goldberg. But he was pretty much on his way out at that point.
We had 16 years of Bret Hart at that point.
Yeah.
Almost. So
there's quite a few that you can think of, though. But definitely something to mull over for some of the oddities
other
in there, people you don't consider. Yeah, absolutely. But again, rest in peace to Daffney, and thoughts go to her family. Going to be a huge weekend. Monetize this tomorrow night. I unfortunately will not be there, but I will try and I'll try and stop by later on. So hopefully I'll be able to come in late.
Thank you very much. Yeah, no, we're not ending the show because of donations. We made hundreds of dollars tonight to the troll in the chat. We made a lot of money. There's just nothing left to talk about. We are done. There's nothing more to talk about.
We have covered a lot of news and a lot of updates. We had an awesome conversation about Daniel Bryan and the possibility of WrestleMania 30. Vince McMahon told Roman Reigns, never to touch Ric Flair. Remember when they had Team Hogan versus Team Flair in Saudi? Well, Roman was told that no matter what, you do not touch Ric Flair. So as much as Rick wanted to get back in the ring, Vince would not allow anybody to touch him. So
I would have touched his pecker. I wouldn't have been able to help it.
He did that on the flight there. So
I like it. Hey man, we had a lot of fun tonight. We got all the predictions in. We got all the other deals in. I don't think there's any other breaking news I need to know about. Tony Khan, man, I think the depressing thing is the 1 million. I still think they should. I can't believe it. I'm shocked. Low rating to me for AEW. Everything else, Carl Anderson trending still, they saying on the wrestling world. I don't know. Who cares? He wouldn't come on. Well, Paul White threw out the first pitch at Chicago Cubs tonight. I don't care. You guys keep telling me, but what do I don't get. Throw a baseball at him.
Yeah, they had Pro Wrestling Tees versus AEW softball game that AEW beat the crap out of the Pro Wrestling Tee guys.
I'm not surprised. Those guys are probably like, what do they look like? The muscle wrestlers versus the Pro Wrestling Tees dorks.
That must have been hilarious.
Should have called me Pro Wrestling Tees. I can waffle that ball. Should have called me. Sorry, but I wouldn't have come to Chicago without a bullpen.
They won 21-3. That's funny.
21-3. Who was pitching for that 3? I saw Thunder Rosa was out there. Was she on the team?
I'm not sure. I'm looking for.
I saw pics of her. Some weirdo was zooming in our titties. I don't know. Thunder Rosa, baby, they win. We love it. We're out of here. What a night. Big ones. We'll see you tomorrow night for Monetize This. And then who knows what's happening Saturday night. And then Sunday night, it's All Out 2021. Become a patron now. Patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. And thanks to the top donator, the top dog, who overtook D. Welsh and everybody else. Black Lab 69. He's back, baby. Jacob RP a little bit late. Or he was in here the whole time and I never noticed. I wanted to. Jake's at Countdown Ended on Twitter. I'm at JCS Commentary. And I got a big one down there for you guys. Come on! Hope everybody's safe, man. A lot of shit going on. The fucking tornadoes, floods, tornadoes and hurricanes, and it's fucking crazy. Stay safe. Kisses. See you tomorrow.